Let's go.
Let's rock.
Jimmy Juice Podcast, man.
Let's go, let's go.
Figgy Fig, best in the world, that's what he do, know what I'm talking about. Ryan Rockett, born and raised in the H-Town, Houston, Texas. Know what I'm saying? Let's go.
Let's go, in the jacuzzi, smoking threats, I got my feet up, cut them haters off, I told them beat it, I don't need you, spent 50 racks in cash, but it's all good, I got my visa, this rolling got them staring at me like the Mona Lisa, my ghetto, Nike, I beat it like a creature, she always like my sneakers, these Jordan 5 pink aces, let's go, I'm knocking them down, baby, back in the row, he really the one, but they already know, so none of my chains go put on the show,
Giving out gins, sipping my juice. Counting the beans, addicted to ends. I need to back in on whatever I do. We get it in on the daily. I get it rocking like this with the 80. We really 10-toe down on the pavement. What's up? We about to see what they saying.
Rockin' gym, sippin' juice. Rockin' gym, sippin' juice. Rockin' gym, sippin' juice. Rockin' gym, sippin' juice. Let's go. Gym, sippin' juice. Rockin' gym, sippin' juice. Rockin' gym, sippin' juice. Rockin' gym, sippin' juice. So let's go.
What do you have to say to everyone if we still consider the Astros cheaters?
Oh yeah.
Every drop.
Where the bitches at? Where the fucking titties? Where the fucking titties, big bitches? I caught a plane out to Cleveland late last evening.
It's funny watching this intro. I came up with like 5 different things. I'm like, oh, we got to talk about that. Oh, we got to talk about that. I just thought so. Watching the intro, obviously the Astros was on there. I'm like, man, the Astros was dead as a doorknob last time we did this podcast, man. Now these dudes in first place looking like the best team in the league.
Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to stop talking about baseball, period, man. Because really, no hot takes ever stick. I buried them. I thought they were done. Really, a lot of the fan base, at least online, thought they were done. We're like, let's just look forward to next season. Now they're on fire, man. They're suddenly good. It's like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, I don't know what happened, but they look like the best team in the league now. Like we got one more left in us. What's the Vince Carter quote?
Got one more in me. Yeah.
and then too, I was looking at the intro and I'm like, I seen Jay Prince. And I'm like, it made me think about him versus Cam and Mace.
Yep.
How he sent that long little post to Cam and Mace.
And who was the boxer he was defending?
Shakur Stevenson.
Yeah, that's right.
Stevenson. Because I only knew about Shakur from Jay Prince when he hopped on this podcast.
Yeah, he put us on.
Yeah. So them just pretty much torturing Jay Prince. It made me think about that. I'm like, oh yeah, that did happen.
Yeah, a lot has happened, man, and yeah, that was crazy. We'll talk about that possibly in a long podcast of topics we got to get to. But yes, welcome back, everybody. Y'all thought we was dead. Y'all counted us out like the Astros. Y'all said, oh, they must be done with the podcast. Y'all said they ain't coming back. You will be wrong. You're wrong, as you always are, because we are back in full effect. I will be honest, though. Look, as far as the reason why we took like almost a 2-month break, a lot happened, man. There was a hurricane. There was work stuff. Like stuff just kept piling up to where me and Figgy were like, let's just do it next week. Let's just do it next week. And next week became 2 weeks. And then 3 weeks, he was busy. We had games we had to do on Fridays. And now we couldn't do that. So just things kept piling up, issues. And it was one of those things where we just got out the rhythm. But I will be honest, people did reach out to me. They said, where the podcast at? Y'all coming back? And that made me feel good because I
Yeah.
really was wondering, like, I was going to get in touch with Figgy, be like, hey, if people ain't asking for us to come back, what's the point? But
Yeah.
I'm very happy people did reach out and say they missed the podcast. And because of y'all, we are back at it.
Yeah, it was kind of like that moment of, if I go away, do you think people will miss me? If I unalive myself, will
Yeah.
people think about me?
It's kind of like when you see somebody post like a vague unalive. YouTube is sketchy with this stuff, so I won't say the S word. When
Yeah.
people post the vague thoughts of unaliving themselves, like, but
Yeah.
it's very vague, and then everybody reaches out, and it's like, "Are you okay? No, you need help. Call me. Do all that." It's
Call
like,
me, bro. I love you.
yeah, and sometimes it is legit. Like, we all have those times, but sometimes I think people just want to feel the love, or they
Yeah.
want to know they be missed.
Or be looking for
So,
attention.
yeah,
Just
that
looking for
especially.
attention. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, it feel good that we were missed.
it does. It does feel good that people still fuck with the pod and they want to hear what we got to say and hearing with our community. So we do appreciate that. So appreciate everybody who shouted us out during the break, the hiatus, and said and asked about where we're coming back, because we're back for you, man.
Yeah.
So a lot going on. So if you're not familiar, I know it's been a while. My name is Ryan Rockett, real name, gimmicks. Yeah, I took that from Moby Trice. And with me, my co-host, of course. Now we got to change his name now. He done went Hollywood. He done went everywhere across this great country. And now I dub my co-host, Hall of Fame Figgy.
Oh yeah. That's the other thing I saw in the intro, man. I saw Hall of Famer Andre Johnson
Yeah.
whooping Cortland Finnegan's ass. And it made me think about, like, dang. And then I caught a plane up to Cleveland late last evening. And went to the Hall of Fame game, went to the Hall of Fame festivities, and I was right there as he made his speech. So,
yeah, it was hilarious. I wasn't watching at the time, but my mom texted me. And she was like, I see Figgy at the Hall of Fame right next to the McNairs.
Word.
Yeah, she texted me. She was like, a Figgy on the TV right next to the McNairs. And I'm like, yeah, that's not surprising. I wasn't surprised. I'm like, Figgy locked in like that with the McNairs. They close together. So yeah, I wasn't surprised. But that was a good look, man. I did see the clip you posted. So yeah, that was fire.
Yeah. Now it was funny too, because like my phone was blowing up at that moment. And I honestly, I wouldn't even think, it wasn't like it was camera right here, and I'm trying to get in it. But I was, I went there to get like a lot of social media content, and during all the breaks, after a player finished talking and all that stuff, then commercial break, everybody like mingle around a little bit, and JJ Watt was right there. And so as soon as the break ends, people just kind of mingle around and all this other stuff. And then when it's time to go back on, then people, security like, all right, everybody sit down. So I was like right there. So I sat in the first row, not at the table at the time, but the first row. And it wasn't nobody sitting there. And so it was an open seat up there, like right next to Hannah. And I'm like, you know what? Let me sit right here so I could get some better content. And I asked the guy that was on the left of me. I'm like, is somebody sitting right here? Like, I sit right here. I ain't gonna be too long. And I sat right there, and then I'm like, damn, it started. I can't get up and move right now because it's gonna look a little weird. So I just sat right there. I'm like, I sit right here till somebody come back, or if they come back. And I sat right there. I kind of got into the speech, to be honest. Like, I wasn't really looking.
You were on a camera for like a full minute, damn near, man. You were on for a minute.
Yeah, I was just sitting there listening to the speech. And when he said the Menares, I was just kind of like, okay. I was just into it. And man, my phone started blowing up. People started tweeting me. I'm like, oh man, like I ain't know I got that much time. And then the table we was at, it was Hannah, it was Cal with the kids. I was kind of sitting behind the kids too. So all of my phone content had their kids in the back. Like you can see the back of their heads. And then I want to say it was like one table over, but wasn't far at all, was JJ Watt. He was sitting right there. So I was like in length of everybody. So it was cool. It was really cool feeling. I did not expect to be sitting right there, but it was cool, man.
Hey man, you got to make the most of the opportunity, man. So hey, rather ask for permission and forgiveness.
Yeah,
Rather ask for permission, ask for forgiveness than ask for permission, or whatever Drake said that once on one of his albums.
Yeah, so I was just kind of mingling around, and if somebody said, "Hey, where your pass at?" or something like that, then I would have left. But it looked like we was all good, man.
Yeah, man. So yeah, I always get nervous when I think if I'm ever on TV that I'm not doing anything embarrassing. Yeah, so you're lucky there wasn't like food there you were eating, and it didn't have you wouldn't, because that reminds me of there was a few years ago, Magic Johnson was at a game at courtside, and they zoomed in on him. Of course, he's Magic Johnson, and this nigga stuffing his face with popcorn, dog, like he's going to town. He's like,
hey, it's funny when you brought this up. I was about to. I immediately thought about the what's the guy Carl Winslow when they had family reunion. I guess reunion. I guess or not the family reunion, but Family Matters reunion. Mm-hmm. And everybody was sitting at the dinner table and smiling and selfie. And you seen Carl Winslow in the back, like going to town, like like cutting up a steak or something. Like he looked locked in on that steak, wasn't he? He was all in the picture too. So I'm like, I don't never want to be like that, man.
That's too funny, man. Yeah, and you never know.
And I'm not good with taking off like look away pictures or like what's the unexpected pictures, because I really got to be focused and smiling. I don't take good pictures when I'm doing something else and they just so happen to catch me.
Yeah, I can't do the stage photos where you put the phone on a pedestal and walk away, or was that dude at Target that was doing that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man, I can't do that.
The planned unplanned.
Yeah, the planned unplanned pictures. Can't do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm always nervous about that. If I'm ever on, like, if I'm at a Rockets game or something and the camera zooms in on me, I'm fucking eating nachos or some shit. Embarrassing. So yeah, that's a good look. And also, last but not least, you've also been covering this shift, man. You've been co-hosting In the Loop the past 2 weeks with John Lopez, the OG, man. How's that experience been for you?
Man, it actually been a really good experience, man. I enjoyed myself. Look, if y'all listen to this podcast a lot, y'all know I always talked about never being a host or anything like that. And the boss gave me a chance. He was just like, hey, I think, I could easily find somebody else to fill in until the new host get there, but I think it should be you and John for the next 2 weeks. And that way y'all can kind of set the table a little bit before. And I'm like, all right. I'm like, I'll give it a shot. I have no idea, how I'll be talking for 4 hours like that. But it was actually pretty cool, man. I'll be lying to you if I told you I wasn't super nervous about it, because I'm like, man, talking for 4 hours, always got to have a take. And then, of course, I was thinking about like, man, if I say something stupid, text line gonna light me up and all that stuff. And we got a couple of those, but I got more love than I did, than I expected, man. Because, I really don't talk that much. I talk enough for a producer, but, I don't really talk that consistent. And even, I guess, being on a radio like that, it's totally different from podcasts. Podcast is a little more relaxed. You could cuss and you ain't got to, there's no fast pace to a podcast.
Yeah.
But on a radio, it's very fast paced. It's like, wow, let me get my take, and then wow, they get your take, and you just kind of go back and forth. It's like a ping pong game. Mm-hmm. and there's no dead air, or you got to sit and think a little bit and stuff like that. And so I ain't know if I could be able to hang like that, but um, it got better as the weeks went by, the days and the weeks went by. So I really enjoyed it, man. John made it super easy for me, man. He did a lot of the heavy lifting because I know how to kind of show prep for a hip hop show or a podcast, but it's totally different in a sports show, man, because there's certain stuff you want to talk about and you want to break down, and sometimes I'll be like, man, is that really important? Or so I struggled in that area, but as far as like topics and stuff like that where I can hang in, it was cool, man. I really enjoyed it, man. I could see myself doing this more often. I don't know if I do it full time, but for sure, if somebody out, one of the hosts is out, like on our show, I could see myself just stepping in. As long as somebody run the board. It's hard doing
It's
hard doing it, trying to run the board. And I made sure when our boss told me, like, hey, I want you and John to do it, I told him I'm down for it as long as we get a producer and I actually be in the room with John, because I think that make a big difference.
Oh, 100%, man. That's dope that he did it for you. So, yeah, that's dope, man. Yeah, people think, because they do a podcast, that they could easily step in and do a radio show or like a TV show. And the environment's completely different, man. Like you said, on a podcast, you can just kind of riff back and forth and talk and ramble as long as you want about whatever.
Yeah.
And radio, not only is there a lot of instant feedback that you get that will fuck with your mental, people asking, why are you talking about this? Oh, you're so stupid. Oh, you're an idiot. Even though everybody acts like they don't care, people care what people think.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's very like you have a set time to talk about a specific topic, or maybe two if you switch it, but it has to be scheduled and timed, and you have to get out at a certain point. And it can't just be you rambling about whatever for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Tougher than it looks, man.
Yeah. And on top of that, man, like just looking at the people texting in, it was somebody, man, and it kind of got in my head a little bit. It didn't affect what I do, but it got in my head. Somebody was like, man, I love you, Figgy, but quit saying man. And I'm sitting there thinking like, damn, am I saying man that much? Yeah. And then today I saw it again. Somebody saying, hey, you need to stop saying man. And right now I'm like, am I saying it that much where it's just like noticeable? It kind of got to me a little bit where I'm like, let me try to not say man. But I can't do that, man. You can't really let that type of stuff get in your head, man, because somebody always gonna have something to say.
You just said it twice after you said it. I didn't even catch it though, man. I think, and here's the thing. I think certain cultures will understand overuse of certain words. Like sometimes everybody has their filler words they go to.
Yeah.
Like is one of the worst ones to have because people always know when you say like. I say like a lot and I try not to, but when there had to be something to pause while you're thinking about what else to say. And sometimes it could be man or dog or like is what everybody uses, but you don't really notice it yourself. And the person you're talking to directly, like I don't notice it until you called it out. Now I'm probably going to think about it when you say it. But we don't really notice it ourselves, but when you're broadcasting on national radio or at least local radio, you got people listening, tons of people listening. They catch on to stuff like that, especially if they don't know you. They'll catch on to your verbal tics and things you say over and over again. And in a way, it could help you. It actually helps you be more diverse in your vocabulary, but it's also when it's easy to fall back on those habits, and it happens.
Yeah, that's like me saying like the word like whenever people talk everything they do
that's a bad one too because you really notice that after a while.
Yeah, and that's what I tried to prove that because my wife was listening to the podcast. It was way back, but she was just like, you say a lot. And that's like a crutch word. That's kind of like Nick Casario, the GM for the Texans. I remember it was a thing he kept saying, right?
Yeah.
You got to trade right and right.
People you say that a lot, like, every time I make a point,
Yeah.
like, all right.
Yeah, it's just a crutch word, but that got in my brain. I'm just like, am I saying it that much?
Yep.
Like, is it bad enough where people would change the station because I'm just that bad with it? But that was the only person that said something about it. So
yeah, and I don't think man's a bad word to use because it's not like you can slip it in anywhere. You say it after, like, man, that, like, for us, we understand that because number one, low key, that's a replacement for a cuss word for us too, man. Like I just said it too. So it could be a replacement for a cuss word or just to emphasize something. But I don't think man is that bad, man. I just said it again. See, I can't now. I keep saying it.
yeah,
Now it's stuck in our head. People gonna hit on the podcast and say y'all both say man too much.
yeah. When I think about the word man, I think about Smokey on Friday because he said man.
You know this, man.
Come on, man. What you doing, man? That was his thing. And I don't want to sound that bad where I'm sounding like Smokey from Friday, but that was getting in my brain, man. I'm like, all right, I gotta do better.
I think of that. I think it's Big Hawk. Who did that man song? That was like the H-Town version of that
Whoa.
Black Rob song. Whoa, man.
Yeah.
Was that Big Hawk? I want to say it was Big Hawk.
It might have been.
Who was that? I can't even look it up. Oh, it was Big Mo featuring ESG and Big Pokey. Speaking of ESG, man. So I think of that when I think of man. Man. Down up north they say whoa, but down here we say man. That just means you H-Town, man, really. Because that's what we say, man. So that's all that means, man.
I'm down with that. Yeah, I ain't gonna let that throw me off none, but yeah, just little stuff like that. Just get you out your hookup a little bit, and you still got to do the show, and you can't address everything. I know, like on this podcast, whoever comment, we go to it, we talk about it, but it's not like that. You gotta stay on track, and so it's a different ball game. A lot of people wanna be on radio, and I think some people can do it, but man, look, here you go. Man,
there you go. TJ, what's up? TJ said, I done hit the pint to the head like man. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's I used to laugh. I remember when I first got on Sports Radio 610, I was doing the morning show. I used to laugh when Seth Payne would get tilted over comments, man, and texts. I'm like, you played in the NFL, man. Why are you upset by things people say? But it does get to you, man, especially after doing it day after day. You see people say something and like insult, question your intelligence, and people just super rude online too. That's the thing about the text. I think when we were mainly a call-based platform, it was better because people would be disrespectful sometimes, but for the most part, people would get on and not be like that. Text, people talk crazy, man. People talk people talk crazy. You see it online as well. To anything that's text-based, people feel like they could be the most disrespectful as they can, and that because they're hidden behind their phone number, they don't have to face any kind of consequence. But once you're actually, when you meet these people or if you talk to them on the phone, the demeanor switches.
It do. Yeah.
So, yeah.
We got a text today because we mentioned the Hot Tour girl and what happened, but somebody texted in, who got these idiots on the radio right now? And I'm just like, damn, bro. Like, why?
You know, that's the crazy thing too. Okay, so if somebody don't like what they're hearing on the radio, it takes one little flick of the wrist to change the station, man. But you're not only are you going to keep listening, you're going to take out your phone and the text line, which means you're a fan, basically. You're going to text the radio station and you're going to let them know, I don't like these guys on air right now. Then fucking don't listen, man. Like, why? We got plenty of other things to listen to.
This is the worst show on 610. Like, you get that text. And then you look at the text, and like they texting throughout the whole show.
Yep.
I'm just like, all right, you got it, man.
Yeah, you have to point those people out. Just ignore them, man. TJ said you could tell what kind of mood Landry was in when the text line hit. Yeah. To be fair, that's everybody, but yeah, he would get tilted too, man. And I can't blame it, because once you're in that chair and you see what people say, it's a little tough, man. It can get under your skin, even the toughest skin. Some things will cut a little bit.
Yeah, people be sitting there like today. Was it today or yesterday? I was talking about Davis Mills, and I think somebody texted in, "You idiot! Davis Mills is a quality back." And I'm just like, what's up with all the name calling, man? Why you can't just say, "Hey, Figgy, I disagree with you on that. I think he's a quality back." They got to go, "You idiots don't know what you're talking about." I'm just like, damn, bro. That'd be my issue, man. I don't care about people disagreeing with me, but no, what's up with the extra words, man?
The insults are ridiculous, man. Because like I said, they never say this kind of thing. We done had tons of events, meet the listeners, take phone calls. You never hear any of that. But when it comes to the text line, suddenly people get real disrespectful, man. And it is ridiculous. Miguel, what's going on, Miguel? Miguel says, I'm gonna be honest, I listen a little, but I'm still boycotting 610. Well, I understand that, man. You do what you got to do.
But a boycott lasts but so long, man. So when you come,
I want to see if the boycott gonna last past the first regular season game. If it does, then I will believe your boycott, man. I don't believe the Texan season gonna start and you just gonna boycott 610, but we'll see.
Boycotting is temporary, man. Remember that boycott's temporary.
And to be honest, a boycott means you're trying to invoke some kind of change, right? Like, what are you trying to accomplish with the boycott, man? You could just say you stop listening to them. You have to call it a boycott.
Yeah.
We boycott like injustice in political systems and stuff. We don't boycott because a radio station made a decision that you don't agree with. I don't know, man. There's tougher problems in the world, but I understand, man. I understand.
Yeah, no, I get it.
So do your thing. And I see the person you boycotting. Okay, I figured that much. TJ says that be them Captain Mickey followers. Yeah, Captain Mickey got a cult behind him, man. So
if you don't put that podcast up in time, man, they be calling the hotline. Like, hey, I was looking on the website for the podcast, the outdoor show, and I'll be like, man, I don't have nothing to do with that show, man. And then now I'm trying to figure out if it's uploaded, and then trying to call the other producer to see if he uploaded the show. No, he got a rabid fan base, man.
Yeah,
they call them the Morning Sickos.
Morning Sickos. Okay.
They actually have a Facebook page.
They actually call themselves that? I thought that's what y'all call them.
No, that's what they call. It's a Facebook page called Morning Sickos.
You got to be a sicko to be up in the morning at like 4 a.m., man.
That's why they call it. And it's funny because remember I filled in doing that show, and after I did it, I went to that page just to kind of see the feedback. And I was getting some love on there, man. I seen somebody say, hey, I don't know who this guy is, but he's doing a really good job. I'm just like, oh. I'm like, cool, man. I thought somebody was going to be on there like, hey, get this Negro off of the record. There's going to be some crazy stuff like that. But no, they was actually pretty cool. And they was just like, man, good job filling in. So, they cool. They some Morning Sickos, but they were cool.
Yeah, they rocking with it, man. They rock. They probably just happy to hear something different too. It's been how many years? It's just the exact same sounding show. So
yeah. So what I So what I did, I just took some cool interviews and cool moments they had like years ago, probably back in probably like 10 years ago, and just kind of put them all together, and they enjoyed it, man. So
yeah. And Miguel says, no, I got no hate for Figgy. I like what he does. We appreciate that, man. We appreciate you being here in the podcast too. Appreciate the support. And Miguel said, Figgy has some solid takes, but it's so hard. I got so much hate for the other hosts. Well, look, don't have hate in your heart for anybody.
Take the hate out your blood, man.
Just calm down, man. I know it's okay to dislike people, but if you never met somebody, you can't really say you hate them, man.
Yeah,
but I understand. Like I've been vocal about my issues with Lopez before in the past, man. But at the end of the day, there's more important things to worry about. Texan season is coming up. A lot of things to be happy about in life, man. You got your health, got your loved ones around you. And so, you don't need to waste any stress or any energy on
it. Yeah. And plus Monday, we got a new show with a new host. So
it's
gonna be a fresh start. So new voice, fresh start.
Man.
I'm gonna be involved in the show a little more. I actually have my own segment coming up. So yeah, man, they gave me a segment. So I'm super pumped up about that, man. Yeah. I think it's worth listening to. It's worth listening to.
Yeah, give it a shot, man. Let's give it a shot. If you don't like it, you don't like it, but at least give it a shot. You can't say you hate it without trying it. So give the new look in the loop at least a shot, man. I'm looking forward to it too. Oh yeah, I don't got my favorite show anymore. I'm interested in a new host. Hopefully, it's not another Rick. I forgot all about Rick Campbell, dog. I forgot all about him. Oh man, that was a weird era. The guy was strange.
Yeah, and I guarantee you, it's not another Rick Campbell. So the guy they hired, I can't say who it is now. I got to wait till Monday. But if you look on Twitter and all that stuff, man, and search, you can find who it is. But this guy's actually a really good dude. Super talented, super talented. He was doing this thing up at another radio station, and I think a lot of people like him. He's very loved at the other radio station. So I think you'll like this guy.
Yeah, I remember the only thing I remember about Rick is we had like a team meeting when he came, and he said he was giving out his hot takes about like 60s basketball or something, man. And I'm like, who the hell is? Yeah, it was super weird, dog. I'm like, who the hell is this guy, man? Talking about Bill Russell.
Hopefully, you talk about Bob Cousy.
Yeah, he was talking about some old school players, man. I'm like, just tell us who you are, where you came from, man. I want to hear your basketball hot takes now. Yeah. But interesting guy, man. I heard he was last working with the NBA or Sirius or some shit. I don't know, but
I think so. I ain't talking.
He's doing okay.
But it's so funny when he first got here, though. His whole rundown was on a sheet of paper. He was like actually writing the rundown down on a piece of paper, to the point one of the producers had to tell him what a Word doc is. What a Google Doc is, and to make a Google Doc. So
people who write stuff down still annoy me, man. I had a guy who worked with me at my current company, and he used to write me things and leave it on my desk. I'm like, dog, if you don't send me a motherfucking email like a regular person, not given this guy is like 80 years old. Okay, he's up there. But I'm like, he knows how to email because I've sent him emails. He's replied to it. If you're going to ask me for something, I need it in an email. This thing could blow away and I don't see it. You're going to leave a piece of loose leaf paper on my desk, man. So that used to trip me out. People who write stuff down and leave notes and send letters. Get your ass out of 1905 and join the current millennium where we actually have technology that you can just send people instantaneously. All right.
Yeah, it's bad. And then they always had bad handwriting.
Yes. Like, they're writing cursive. Yeah. I'm like, I can't read this shit. Looking like the Constitution. Yeah. I'm like, Get this bullshit out of here and send me a Word document, man. Send me an email.
Yeah, yeah, I can't tell you the last time I actually wrote something down. Like I'm usually typing in my phone or something like that. I can't. Nah, I ain't doing all that. I ain't walking
It's
around.
usually to sign something for me, which don't really count. And then my signature's been getting worse and worse. So
Yeah,
like I probably should start writing stuff down again, man, just in case shit
duh.
happens.
It's funny you said that too because I had to sign something recently, and I looked at my hair. I'm like, man, that handwriting look bad. I was thinking in my
Yeah.
head like it looked bad, but my wife was like, "Hey, you got like a celebrity signature." I'm like, really? I'm like, no, I feel like this look bad. I'm like, this dude, like, couldn't nobody read that name?
Mhm.
That's a bad sign if somebody can't even read what that said.
To be honest, most signatures you can't actually read it unless you knew the person who signed it. You wouldn't know if somebody gave you like LeBron James' signature. You wouldn't know that said LeBron James. You would have to be told, "Hey, LeBron signed this."
But see, like, I would give a celebrity a pass. Like celebrities, he been doing that probably since the age of 16. But me, I'm just signing a document, man. I'm not sitting there signing an autograph on a football or nothing. So I'm like, I just did a little scribble, like I'm just signing an autograph. I'm like, man, that look awful. And then not to mention it's cursive. So I totally forgot how to write in cursive. I don't think I could write a whole sentence in cursive now. And I used to be fluent in cursive.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where we at in
Yeah, we
2024.
used to have to write papers in cursive in school, man.
Dude,
So
in third grade, this was my last year in Catholic school. Everything we had to do was cursive. Like we get in trouble if we print. And it wasn't until I got went to public school in fourth grade where the teacher they didn't care. So I always thought printing was easier. It was easy. I used to think it was easier and quicker. So I never went back to cursive.
yep, and now we look back and what a complete waste of time that was. You know, they told us that, oh, when you grow up, you'll have to be writing stuff in cursive all the time. And this is during a time when computers were already out. Were y'all so stupid that y'all really thought we'd be writing forever? Nobody could see into the future and say, hey, maybe we shouldn't focus so much on handwriting and cursive and more on computer stuff. We had like one computer class. We should have had more than that, considering where the world was going. Teach us some design, teach us how to do art on the computer instead of hand drawing it. Like, there's a lot of stuff we could have used to prepare us better for the future we can actually live in and not 20, 30 years ago past. But that's just how school is, especially public schools. So what can you do?
Yeah, I only had one typing class, man. It was like a computer typing class, and we had to put the little cover over the numbers and letters and type without looking. And that's a class I wish I could have took more serious, but I was like in 10th, 11th grade. But I wish that was a class I took more serious because I could probably I could probably type a little faster or do something to type a little faster. But outside of that, man, it's still some old ass farts that be out here talking about cursive is good when you taking notes and it's quicker to jot down and all this other stuff. I'm just like, man, get out of here with that.
The main argument I've seen is, well, they have to know cursive to read the Constitution. You know, you can just read the Constitution. If you pull up the Constitution on Wikipedia, you just read it there. You don't have to go to the actual place where it's actually stored and read it there. But people just funny with that, man. This old timers.
Yeah.
Miguel asks, are y'all going to be at the game tomorrow? I will not. I'll be working on the broadcast at the station. Figgy will be there, though. Correct?
Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there. Rockett actually works closely with Mark Vandermeer. I think I was in, where was I at? Oh, when I was at the Hall of Fame game. I actually heard you giving them a countdown and all
word?
That. Yeah, because the headphones were so loud. I was in the same room with Mark.
Yep.
And I heard you. I'm like, I should hop on and say what's up.
You should have, man.
Nah, I ain't want to throw nothing off. But yeah, I'll be at the game. I'll be going around. I'll just be walking around a lot. So probably hit a tailgate up. I'll be probably hanging around the Kroger entrance. So if you want to go to the Kroger entrance, I'll be giving out some stuff and just kicking it with the folks, man.
Yep. TJ says everything is text or email now. When I write stuff, I see how bad it be looking SMA. Yeah, I'm the same way, man. A few times I'll check, I'll have to write something or just write something and see how it looks. And it's rough. It's rough. My
Yeah.
handwriting is awful now. It was never great, but it's pretty bad now, man.
Yeah.
So
Nah, my handwriting look like a fourth grader, man. It's bad, man. I can't that's how much I don't write. And so way back in the day, I actually used to have a notebook where I used to write raps.
Mhm.
But once I got my BlackBerry, I was on my Drake stuff, man. I was just putting raps in my BlackBerry. So once I did that, I went to the iPhone, started doing that, and never looked back.
Yeah, I used to write a lot now. I used to write little short stories. I used to write all kinds of essays, all that stuff. Used to just write it and you could read it at least. Now I don't think. And another thing I noticed, my hand will get tired and start hurting a lot earlier now when I write something.
Mhm.
So I guess that's just you lose the muscle of actually having a pen in your fingers. But
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, so we done spent 40 minutes talking about I don't even know. We
Yeah.
we ain't had a podcast in 2 months.
Yeah,
And we were talking about it's just a podcast. This is just a podcast experience though.
We could have did this before we started.
Really though. Really though.
A homeboy catch up.
Yeah, but this is the Gyms and Juice podcast experience. We just talk about whatever, man. So we will get back on topic. Miguel says, "Are you going to be at the Kroger gate?" That's my gate. I'm in 325.
Okay, yep. I'm gonna be at the Kroger gate. Yep.
Yeah, y'all say what's up to Figgy when y'all see him, man.
Yeah, man. Pull up. I'm gonna make sure I have Lopez with me too. So you can keep that.
Yeah, keep the same energy, man. Yeah, we want to see the showdown. Get it on video too. Anyway, all that aside, music. There was actually music that did release. I don't know how much of it we've heard. So I'll go to the one album we might have actually heard, at least the one I heard. Kanye and Ty Dolla $ign. Miguel said, "I'm a grill Figgy with all them off the record questions." Yeah, he's going to ask you about the conspiracies, man.
Oh yeah.
who really wanted Landry fired, huh? You know, I promise you it's off the record. Oh, okay. If it's off the record, then I'll tell you it was.
Hey, if you see me, I'll give you the tea, man. I'll give you all the tea.
You got to pay for it, though, man. You got to pay for that insider access. It ain't free now. Anyway, music, man. We do talk about music sometimes on this podcast. And albums did release. Kanye West, Ty Dolla $ign, another one of those albums that was not sure it was actually going to release or not, because he teased it and then it didn't come out. Then he teased it and it didn't come out. He would post up and delete it. I'm like, what's going on with this album? And now he keeps remixing the album. He keeps adding different. There's like 5 different versions of this album now, man. It just dropped a few weeks ago. He's remixing. He's adding verses, which is getting annoying. I'm not going to bump it again. But I did hear the Kanye and Ty Dolla $ign album. Diggy, did you hear any of this?
Yeah, I did. I heard some of it. I ain't get through it all. But yeah, from the parts I heard, man, my first thought was, damn, man, because Kanye is technically independent. So my first thought was, damn, I remember back in my day when Kanye, his album used to be the first thing that pop up when you open your streaming app. Now it was nowhere to be seen. And I actually had to search Kanye West to see he dropped a new album. So I'm like, damn, we in the world now where they just pretty much hiding this album. So they not putting this album out there like as far as promoting it.
Actually, I haven't thought about that, because I do see now, especially now, when you look at like the trending songs and the top songs in rap, you see songs from this album. I think the issue with him is, since he's independent, he doesn't have anybody promoting the album and paying for it.
Yeah,
So, for example, a label will pay Spotify, and Drake will pay Spotify to have his album when you open the app.
that's the power of the record label too.
Exactly. And Kanye's not doing that. He's just putting
Yeah,
it out. So
yeah,
there's nobody to promote. So you got to look for it when it first drops. You will eventually see the songs because they're trending, but you're
yeah.
not going to see it the first day because nobody's paying for the promotion.
Yeah, and that was my whole point of bringing that up. It's just like, man, that's the price of an independent artist, because people don't realize that you got to pay for that. These not record labels, but streaming services ain't just putting it up there just because you Kanye. These are label driven, man. When Drake drop an album, they put that right there because it's all label driven, man. Whenever Drake becomes independent and not tied to any major label, then it might be a little hard unless he, get in bed with him or pay or something like that. And that's the funny thing about it. Whenever we talk about independent, remember back when it used to be he's independent, the Chance the Rappers of the world and stuff like that. It's like, dog, ain't no independent artist getting that much love like that, man. It's harder than what you think. They ain't winning no Grammy over somebody that is signed to a major record label. So, but yeah, when I first seen this, I'm like, dang, man, I actually got to search for it. I can't just go through the new albums that dropped. But when I heard this album, man, I put it on and it was kind of cleaning up. This album was a little dry to me, man. It was kind of, it was no real slaps on this album to me. It was kind of making me sleepy, if we being honest. And I'm just like, yeah, like stuff sound kind of cool, but it was just kind of making me. I felt like it wasn't the right type of move for it. It wasn't no bangers on here to me. I think the one song, I can't remember what song this was because he ain't got none of the features on here.
Mm-hmm.
But the one song where I'm like, okay, it was the song with Young Thug. Young Thug had a verse on there. I'm just like, okay, damn, man, free Young Thug. It kind of made me want to hear some more Young Thug music. But eventually, man, I had to cut this off, man, because it wouldn't really get me in the mood to clean up a little bit, man. I think Anita Baker get me more in the mood to clean up and move around. This one seemed like it was just a little more slower than a typical Kanye album.
Yeah, man, I kind of thought the same. To be honest, when it first dropped, it dropped on Spotify. And I canceled my Spotify. I'm not going to about to listen to Spotify with ads. I know it's free, but I'm not going to listen to an album with ads in the middle. So I actually heard it on Kai Cenat's stream. He was streaming on Twitch.
Okay.
He was streaming a game called Bloodborne. And he stopped the stream when the album came out, and he just played the whole album. So I'm like, okay, I'll just listen to the whole album this way. And even his reaction, he wasn't feeling it, man. And I really wasn't feeling it either. I do like the song Field Trip. That's the only hype song to me on this album, to me, is Field Trip. That's the song with who else is on it? Playboy Cardi, even though his verse is kind of mid on it. And Kodak is on it too, but his part is terrible. I don't know why they switched the beat up when it was so good. Another thing about Kanye now, everything he does is overproduced.
Yeah.
Everything is super overproduced now. It used to be cool back when My Dark Twisted Fantasy came out and it actually had a meaning behind the production. Now it's just, he's just doing it to do it. Like, oh, I gotta switch the beat up because I'm Kanye. I gotta be different. You like this beat? Now I'm gonna make it sound annoying.
Yeah.
Like, what?
And that's what I kind of miss about the old Kanye. I know it's a lot to miss about the old Kanye, but we talked about this on this podcast before, how it's a clear difference. I feel like his last best, like, normal hip hop produced album was Late Registration, where he was, he had, you could tell he got a little more polished with the producing, but it was still hip hop. You could tell he was still using the normal beat machines and normal samples and stuff like that. He didn't really put too much into it. Now it's saying like, and this album was a perfect example. Even the last Vultures was a perfect example. It was just like, why we got a whole ass choir in here? A lot of this, it's just like it sound great, but it's just too much, man. Sometimes you don't have to do that much.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a trademark of his now. Everything he does is overproduced, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but now it's less likely to work because it doesn't sound good, man. Kanye's rapping has never been great, but now I legit think he's one of the worst rappers in the game right now, man. And that's saying a lot. That's saying a lot.
That's saying a whole lot.
I think Kanye in his current form is one of the worst rappers out, man. All his lines are corny, basic ass rhymes that don't make any sense. Ranting about that husband song. What the fuck was that, man? Was that a Kim diss? What was the point of that? He's trauma dumping in his music now, and it's his rapping ability. He needs his ghostwriters back. He needs to bring back Rhyme Fest. He needs to bring back people to write for him, because him writing this stuff, you could tell he's writing it on his own because it's terrible. And he needs his ghostwriters back, man. I never thought I'd say that in rap, but he needs his ghostwriters back, man. He cannot carry an album lyrically by himself anymore.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's basically what I expected, man. I didn't think I would like the album, and I was right. Kanye is just he's on a downturn, man. And it's weird because he's still very popular. The album went #1, I believe, or close to it. Like, he still has a rabid fan base, even though he's so washed up at this point. And I don't know if I've ever seen a rapper past 40 decline this much and still be this popular.
Yeah.
So I don't understand it, man. I think people will always tune into Kanye just because he's Kanye, but I'm sure people have I think that's part of the reason why he keeps remixing this album and releasing new songs. He wants to keep people listening to it, but people are going to fall off, man. It just doesn't sound good. It doesn't sound like anything new or interesting, and it doesn't sound like classic Kanye. So it's like the worst of all worlds.
Yeah.
And yeah, I could go without it.
Yeah, and it's funny you brought that up. You trying to keep people listening, and people going to just tune in just because it's Kanye. I was going to ask you this, and I think I know your answer. I think you kind of on board with this already, but this is the first time probably ever where I wasn't really pressed to get to this Kanye album. Like, I remember the day it dropped, and I was just kind of like, I get to it whenever. Like, I wasn't pressed to get to this album. I ain't wake up that morning, get in the car and say, you know what? I got to put on this Kanye album, man. I'm locked in on it. I haven't been like, this is the first time I haven't been like this, man. And crazy as it sounds, I was kind of like that with Vultures. I was kind of like that with some of his other previous albums. This one, I was just kind of over it, man. I don't know what it was, but I was pretty much just over it. I was kind of like, like, I don't really care for it. I don't need to see it or listen to it.
Yeah, no, I felt the same way. Honestly, the last time I felt that way about a Kanye album where I had to listen to it the day it came out was Donda.
Yeah.
That was the last one because it had a lot of hype behind it. He was doing the stadium tours and doing the music, and the music sounded good. So that's the last album where I was like, okay, I got to hear this because it's Kanye. Vultures, it was the start of me not giving a shit. And it continued through Vultures 2, and now it's, I'm probably never going to go back to this whole album and listen to it again, man. And if he drops Vultures 3, which he probably will, I don't know if we're even going to review it. It might drop off the review table unless there's nothing else going on that week. I don't even know we're gonna review it, man.
Yeah,
at this point, that's where Kanye is right now as an artist.
Yeah, yeah, no, I 100% agree with that, man. I hate that we got there with him because he was one of my favorite artists.
Yeah, me too.
And I got to a point where I just don't care now, man. Like, you haven't made anything since Donda, and I like that album a lot, but you ain't make anything since Donda. where I'm like, I gotta listen to this. Let me stop what I'm doing, listen to it. And that list kind of getting down. That list is going down very low for me at this point. It's a few people where I'm like, I gotta stop what I'm doing, listen. I think Pusha T is one. Where I'm like, I gotta stop what I'm doing and listen to it.
If Jay ever drops, you got to stop what you're doing and listen to that, man.
100%. Honestly, even I think Kendrick was that artist too, where I'm not saying stop what I'm doing, but I gotta listen to this album before we do the podcast. I think Drake got to that point for me, but I think now I don't want to say he's going down the Kanye route, but it's getting to the point where I'm just like, man, like I'll listen to it when I listen to it. It's not bad. It's not that bad yet, but his last couple albums, I really wasn't that impressed.
Yeah, and that's just how it goes, man. There's really, to be honest, there's not that many people who I would drop everything to listen to at this point. Not even Nas, because I think Nas has kind of oversaturated himself lately, and now I'm not as excited about Nas as I might have been a few years ago.
Yeah,
but somebody like a Jay, even a Drake, man, I'm gonna listen to Drake when he drops. All right, I'm probably gonna hate on it, but I'm listening to Drake when he drops.
Yeah,
I'm listening to Kendrick when he drops.
I kind of get sucked into the moment with Drake too, because at first I'm kind of like, oh, weird, but I guess the way people be talking about it, I'm just like, man, just FOMO, where I gotta check this out. I gotta listen to it and break it down. And at the end of it all, I'm always a little bit underwhelmed.
I'm always underwhelmed, man.
Yeah,
I've been underwhelmed since Views from the Six. I don't remember the last time I really enjoyed a Drake album.
Yeah,
but for another time.
Yeah, one album I am kind of waiting on, and I'm gonna stop what I'm doing to listen to it. And you probably ain't down with this one, but I'm down to hear what A$AP Rocky got, man.
I knew you're gonna say that, man. To be honest, he has a new song out that I kind of like. Yeah, I do like that new song he just dropped.
Yeah, it's been a minute for him, man. I ain't think he was ever gonna rap like that again. So I'm more intrigued to see what he sound like. Like, what does A$AP Rocky sound like?
You know he gonna be talking about the same exact shit, man. He gonna be talking about fashion. He gonna talk about being a pretty motherfucker. He gonna talk about the same shit he's always talked about, man. It's not like he gonna have some insightful things to rap about suddenly.
He might be rapping about being a dad, and Rihanna is this chick.
He's gonna talk about fucking bitches. He's not gonna talk about Rihanna, man. He's gonna be in A$AP Rocky character mode. So he ain't gonna drop that kind of music. But to be honest, man, he's been gone for a while. When he does drop an album, I'll listen to it probably day one.
Yeah,
so I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, but outside of that, man, Kanye is off that list for me, man.
Yeah,
I just listen to it when I'm bored.
Yeah, same here. TJ says stream platforms control viewership promotion. You better get down with them or you have a tough mountain to climb. Yeah, man, they own everything. They're the gatekeepers, literally.
Yeah.
You can't get through it if you ain't in bed with them, man. So
you
got to pay the piper. If you don't have anybody to pay the piper, unless you're somebody super famous like Kanye, who's going to get spins no matter what, it's going to be tough for you.
Yeah, it is. That's why it's tough for independent artists who, look, it's cool to get on the streaming service. That way you can brag about it and you can tell people just search me and they can hop on. But look, it's tough, man, to get this special treatment and all that stuff, man. That's tough to do that as an independent artist. Damn near impossible. So, yeah, man. I don't know no other way around it. I know I ain't trying to sit here and say get signed by a record label, but my point is even somebody like a Kanye will have to go through a little hurdles to get that promotion. It got to be a damn good song with all the hype around it with his rabid fan base, just bringing it up to number one or anything like that. And it's still tough for somebody like that as far as promotion.
Yeah, it is, man. I think a lot of people assume, and that's the thing that I finally stopped hearing, but people used to say it's a lot. How, oh, you don't need no labels. You don't need no make record labels. This is 2024. All you gotta do is just upload a song. You can get a fan base. And it's like, no, you can't, man. Yes, it's easier to make music than it has been ever before. But in terms of getting people to listen to it, it's probably harder than it's ever been, man. Because there's so many options and things people listen to get your underground unknown person to get even 10 monthly listeners on your Spotify is going to be a hurdle, man. There's too much stuff to listen to, too much stuff to watch. And unless you get on a Rap Caviar playlist or on NBA 2K soundtrack, you're probably not going to get a whole lot of people onto you.
Yeah,
So,
and that's still a stretch, to be honest, because I remember maybe about 10 years ago, maybe 10, 11 years ago, the big thing was trying to get on World Star.
yeah.
Like, shoot a video, get my video on World Star, and that could blow up. You could get it on World Star all you want and pay a couple about 6 bands to get on World Star, but that don't do anything, man. That just put your video there. You could get the views and all that stuff you want, but it's not like, record labels and all that people going to see that video be like, you know what? I need to work with this person. No, you just going to get the views. You just going to get the views on that website. Not even, your own YouTube. You just going to get it on,
you can monetize.
Yeah, you just going to get it on that website, and you're going to get a whole bunch of people probably talking smack about you in the comments.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember somebody did that. She put her video on there, and it was a dope video, dope song, everything. And that didn't really do anything for her. It just all it was her bragging about, hey, my video on World Star, but it didn't benefit her at all. So even stuff like playlists and all that stuff, people pay big money to get on these playlists. And how many times you go through a playlist and you might be like, oh, that song's cool, but yeah, that's it. And some people might go the extra route to check your music out, but that's very slim. So it's, I think even stuff like that, that's why it's a little tough being independent and trying to figure out what to spend your money on.
Mm-hmm.
Because you could sit there and be like, let me spend 5 bands to get my song on this playlist, this popular playlist. Let me spend this amount of money. This other thing too. Let me spend this money to get this feature and get this rapper on my song. Let me spend 10,000 to get this rapper on my song. And it might be a good song, all that stuff, but that rapper ain't gonna do nothing else. He just got his money and put a verse on the song.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's cool, but that's not really doing anything else for you. People think it's just gonna blow up out the world, and like a lot of times that don't happen. I didn't see people get big names on songs and it didn't do anything for them, man. So it's really tough as an independent artist because record labels, they put a lot into you. People don't realize how much they put into an artist and how many doors they can open up and how many people they know to push that song and all that stuff and connections they got. So yeah, man, it's hard as an independent artist. That's why a lot of people don't make it, or a lot of people go to a record label eventually because it's tough.
Yeah, and they also help develop you as an artist too. So I'm also happy that QC told Young Miami to stop rapping. You see that? She said they told me that I haven't shown any growth in my music. It's like they probably just knew that shit was ass. They're trying to be nice about it because they let JT put out whatever she wants.
Yeah, she was rolling, man. She was coming.
Like, how bad was Young Miami's music that she couldn't put it out, but they let JT put out her music?
Yeah.
So that was pretty funny though.
Yeah, no, that was actually hilarious. You never really heard that from an artist because usually when an artist gets shelved, it been a lot of artists that got shelved, but they never said, man, they said I ain't, they ain't seen no growth. You never seen that.
Yeah.
You usually
No, and you have to think about it because I'm sure there's a lot of critique behind why. Because people always say, my label won't let me release music. They won't let me release anything. They keep shelving my music. And
Yeah.
I always wonder, is there a reason why it's getting shelved, or are they just hating on you to hate on you, man? It's
Yeah.
probably because they know it's ass and they don't want to put money behind trying to promote it, or they
Yeah.
don't think it's going to be popular.
I think that's exactly what it is, because just think about this. Why would I stop you for putting out an album that's going to benefit me, that I'm going to make money from? Or I got to put money in it, but I know I got to make this money back somehow. So why would I, stop you from putting the album out, knowing that it's supposed to bring money back and I'm supposed to get the money? So obviously they don't have faith in that album. They think it's not good. And so they don't want to lose all this money. They don't want to spend this budget to put this album out and then not get a return on it. Now,
Exactly.
now some of it could be like, it's been a lot of examples of them being wrong, totally wrong. Some people or some labels, I'm sure, was wrong on a song, thinking that song wasn't gonna do nothing, and it did.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of the times, man, sometimes they be like, man, this ain't it. Or this person, they ain't really checking for your music like that. Sometimes they be right.
Yeah, somebody should stop. Was it not Lil Baby, the other baby, the baby, the baby. Somebody got to stop him from making music, man. I think enough is enough.
Hell, I was thinking Lil Baby too, man.
I mean, to be honest, he's gotten a couple of hits, man. He's not completely out of here. That Band for Band song, which I never thought a song with a British rapper or English rapper would get big over here, but that song is huge.
Yeah,
And that song's hard too. So he's got a few hits, man. I can't say he's done, but yeah, Young Miami is cooked. She's got to go to TV hosting and all that stuff and get her own show because it's over.
yeah, it's crazy. I used to like Young Miami too.
Speaking of which, I did see the sales numbers for Ice Spice. Ugh. Another female rapper flopped, who I thought was supposed to be the next Lil Kim, according to social media. What is going on with these female rappers, man? I feel like everybody is flopped. Sexy Red, Meg Thee Stallion, Ice Spice. How come none of them can sell? I thought they was leading rap. Twitter told me the women run rap now.
Yeah,
that's what I heard. The women run the rap game. Why ain't they running sales?
Yeah, and what's funny is I think Joe Budden actually talked about this, because I think he kind of got misunderstood, because I think he mentioned how I guess the female rap stuff with those days are kind of over, and people kind of took it like, no, it's not. You got Ice Spice, you got Lotto, you got Glorilla, you got they pretty much started naming all these female rappers. And I think I felt like he made a good point, man. He was saying the whole get this fine girl, put her in the studio, get her a BBL, just kind of build a female rapper type of look, and make some type of ratchet, ignorant music. That's cool on social media, and they do get popular. I can't lie, they do get popular. But for some reason, people don't want to buy a whole album of that, man. And this is kind of to my point too, what I said before, how I think if I was a female rapper, I would never drop an album. I would just keep dropping singles, man. Just keep posting stuff. I drop a video, cool little video, but I would never release an album. You'll never get an album out of me, because I just feel like nobody is that good to sell records like that, man. The only person that is Nicki. That's the only person that will sell 200,000 in the first week or 150K in the first week. Even Meg is probably, out of all the newer rappers now, is the only one that actually doing a little something. And what I mean by a little something is probably like 50K first week. or 75K, somewhere around there. And maybe give her 100. I don't know. I can't remember, but we was throwing a parade for what she did. And I just think people not really interested in buying their albums like that, man. And I think they make some cool music, man. I don't think it's bad, but maybe that audience ain't interested in buying and supporting the whole album of that.
Yeah, I think people thought Cardi B was a template to follow and they just copy pasted. They didn't realize Cardi B had something these new women don't. It wasn't just the fact that she rapped. Look, her rapping was just okay. But I think it was a personality. It was the quality of the music was just higher. And again, it's somebody that people gravitated to and the music was fire. Now it's just you're not going to be able to copy paste the Cardi B template and it's not it expected to work on everybody.
Yeah.
TJ says women rap has always felt like a cheap gimmick, almost a disrespect to the work great rappers put in. Hey, sir, check your privilege, misogynist. Look, I don't think you're wrong about everybody, but you're wrong about some. The women do put work into their raps, man. I think Megan Thee Stallion did, Lil Kim did, Nicki Minaj definitely did, and Cardi B, even though she didn't write a lot of her songs, I'm sure, I think she cared about the quality of her music.
Yeah.
To be honest, to be fair and honest, a lot of these newer women probably don't care about the music aspect. They just want to be famous. They want to shake ass on stage, but they have nothing to say rap wise. They proudly admit they don't write their own music, which is crazy. As you see that clip on Joe Budden, who was that said that? I forget who it was. Somebody was on Joe Budden, and she basically just proudly admitted she didn't write any of her music.
Damn.
And you could tell it was killing Joe inside. He was like, ugh, he wanted to say something, but he held back. I forgot who it was. It wasn't Lotto. It was somebody, but
was it JT? It wasn't JT, was it?
Nah.
Okay.
I gotta look. I could find it eventually. It was like the last female rapper he had on this podcast. But yeah, she just admitted she didn't write anything, and it's just normal now, man. They was trying to hype her up like, oh, nobody writes anymore. But nah, rap, yeah. Nah, it's still a bad look to be a rapper and not write your raps, man.
Yeah.
Women or man. So
yeah, I do feel like I kind of disagree with the women rap has always, but I do as of late do feel like it's kind of a cheap gimmick, that just that template of getting somebody like a Sexy Red to just talk about ratchet stuff and twerk and just do the same old stuff where it's just like, man, like they feel like that's the template right now to get hot. And right now it kind of work until you get to the record sales, because these women, they get opportunity. Look, Ice Spice, she that girl was on a Dunkin' Donut commercial, man. She got her opportunities. But I just think the record sales, man, don't nobody want to buy these albums, man. Like as much as I like some of the music, and it's but I just can't see myself listening to a whole Ice Spice album. I tried to listen to this album, and I think the perfect way to try to listen to this type of stuff, just listen to it with your significant other and somebody that have no horse in the race, who don't really care. And mine was like, hey, this sounds like the last song you just played. And then when you like 3 or 4 songs in, all of this stuff sound the same. Where I'm like, okay, like that to me, when somebody like that feel that way, it's just like, man, yeah, this is not good. So I don't know, man. I just think they're in a tough spot. If it was up to me, I would never drop an album.
no, yeah.
Because now, like, just looking at Ice Spice, and I don't know how much her stock is going down, but just seeing how much she sold, I'm not like that price coming down to me. It's just like, nah, you ain't like you selling 17,000 records for your first week. Like, nah, I ain't putting you in no commercial. No, and you ain't about to charge me $1 million. Like, I don't care if you was on the song with Taylor Swift. Like, nah, that price coming down now. And I think that's why Cardi B, I don't know if it's her or the label, but I think that's why they trying to, not let her drop a full blown project, because her price gonna stay up until she drop an album and it do worse than her last album. She I think she did it the right way. That album would, I think it went platinum a couple times, and it was really good. It was really good produced album. But if I was them, I wouldn't drop nothing else, because I don't know if she can beat that album. I don't know if she could do something better than that as far as sales. So I would just keep singling everybody to death. I would get my nice little endorsements and just call it a career.
Yep, seems like it. And I looked up Ice Spice. Ice Spice sold 28K first week. And is this her first album officially?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
How long has Ice Spice been around?
She been around.
She just released her debut album now.
About 2 to 3 years, maybe.
Munch came out in 2022. Okay, so 2 years, which ain't super long, but I feel like she's been around a long time to not drop an album, period.
That's
what you been doing all this time.
Look, singling everybody to death, man. Just
apparently.
And see, that's the reason why I wouldn't drop an album, man. I think the same thing with Glorilla. Now, I don't know how much. I don't even know if she actually dropped the official album. I think the last thing she dropped, she said it was a mixtape. I'm like, damn, I didn't think people still do mixtapes.
Yeah.
And me personally, I think that's kind of a cover up to just
try to
check the temperature to see how much she'll do. And if it's bad, they're gonna say it's a mixtape. If not, then they probably gonna try to nominate it for a Grammy or something. So, yeah, I think that's why a lot of people, it takes so long for people to drop it out. I think they be scared. Once they do and then don't do anything, then that stock go down, man. And the price of the brick going down.
Yeah. Remember when Chance the Rapper tried to say The Big Day was his first album?
Yep. I remember that. That was
he done dropped like 5 albums at that point. Oh, this is my first album out.
This is my debut album.
And it is its worst project to date, by the way. So yeah, go figure on that, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, anyway. Other music, we'll just skim through these because I don't think either of us have listened to these other albums that released, but we'll just briefly talk about it. Eminem dropped, your favorite rapper, Figgy. He's finally back. He dropped the Death of Slim Shady.
I'm playing Eminem in your car. You and your old lady?
Eminem came back. He dropped the Death of Slim Shady. Of course, the whole concept is bringing back the Slim Shady character, and I guess the things he says are things you would get canceled for now. He tried his best to get canceled with this album. From what I've seen, I saw some of the controversial lyrics get posted, and nobody cared.
Yeah.
That's like the number one the sign of somebody completely falling off. When you try to get canceled and nobody even bothers to cancel you. You could say, I hate trans. Well, I don't even want to say that on YouTube, but you could say, I hate LGBTQ and nobody cares.
Yeah.
Then, yeah, it's over.
We seen that from Eminem a minute ago too, man, because remember, I can't remember if this was when Trump first got in the office or he was running, but remember he did that cipher.
Yes.
And he was just talking so much smack about Trump, and Trump didn't say a peep. And this was during the time when even Jamel Hill would tweet about Trump, and he would respond to her.
He addressed Chance the Rapper, dog.
Yes.
he addressed everybody.
He addressed him. He addressed Jamel Hill. He was addressing all type of people that probably wasn't even expecting a response to it. And you could tell Eminem was trying to get some type of response from Trump. Trump didn't say a peep, man. He ain't even acknowledge it. And that's when I knew I'm like, up. Like that whole little freestyle, people was bragging about that freestyle too. Like, yeah, look how he called out Trump. Everybody ran with it. Trump didn't say anything about it, man. That's when I knew. I'm like, all right, I don't think people really care at this point anymore.
Yeah. And this album, look, I'll be honest. I think Eminem is a little bit overhated now in terms of online. I'm getting sick of the people acting like he was never hot. I'm getting sick of the people acting like he can't rap. Okay, his rapping now is worse, but to act like he has no rap talent, to act like the people currently can rap better than him, we don't gotta lie. You can just say you're not feeling the music and it's bad. You ain't gotta lie about the man's talent with the pen. We ain't got to go that far. But so I was actually wanting to give this album a chance. Maybe I was like, maybe he might prove me wrong and everybody wrong. Maybe he'll have some more boom bap sounding, Slim Shady, kind of like bringing back the Slim Shady LP type sound, man.
Yeah.
And I still bump that album sometimes. Some songs off of it, like Role Model. That song is hard.
You sliding around playing Eminem.
Ride around playing Eminem, man. I admit it. So I wanted to give it a shot, but just from what I heard, the beats were just awful, man. He's still doing the rap too fast, try to fit as many punchlines and double entendres as you can, to the point where you gotta look up the lyrics and even know what he said. I heard the song Toby. I like that song okay. The beat is still not great, but I like the features. I like Baby Tron and Big Sean on it. All the Detroit rappers, I guess, from different genres or different eras, you know. So I like that. Baby Tron killed it, by the way. He had the best verse. But yeah, so the beasts are just what's killing me about him, man. I really wish I get that Dr. Dre don't probably do shit anymore music wise, but he got to hook up with somebody who does. Alchemist, man. Alchemist was his DJ.
Yeah.
Why can't he do an album with Alchemist? He can actually afford to get samples cleared.
Yeah.
Why can't Eminem drop an album with Alchemist, man? Why can't he drop an album with Madlib? Why can't he go back to the hip hop roots and not whatever these techno weird goofy beats sound like? I can't stand them. That's my only thing. Why can't he just make an old school sounding Eminem's record instead of trying to? The beats are just what kill me, man. The beats are killing me.
I wonder why. I'll address a couple things with that in a minute, but why don't artists actually, especially artists like him that seen success from all over, why don't they experiment a little more? Like, to me, like, say what you want about Beyonce, I appreciate her, doing something different, at least jumping into the country lane, doing a little country stuff like that, because that could, I feel like people like that are really scared to jump outside of their lane and not really do that. Like, I kind of respect that she switched it up a little bit. She could have stayed in her normal pop lane and just do whatever works. And it seemed like she kind of tried to step in a different lane a little bit. Why Eminem won't just step in? I don't want to say step into a different lane, but just say, you know what? Let me do an album with one producer. Let me do it with Alchemist or Madlib or somebody totally different. It might sound a little weird with Pharrell, but just
I would take that, man.
Yeah, just something different. Like, let me DJ Premier. Let me link up with DJ Premier, and it don't have to be a 20-track album, but let me do a project, maybe 8 songs with DJ Premier and do stuff like that. That's what I like about Currency. Currency do that pretty often, where he, lock in with one producer and do a whole mixtape or a project with that producer. I wonder why bigger artists like that don't really do that. They just kind of get stuck in their ways.
I think it's, on one hand, it's the expectations of the label. They say, I think they pressure you to have hits that sound like your previous hits because they know that works. And also, I just don't feel like Eminem is pushing hard enough to be creative like that, man. I think his creativity, I think he's even admitted that he cares more about lyrically impressing people than the music itself.
Mm.
He cares about the stuff he's saying and the way he says it. He just wants to be the most lyrically impressive rapper out. I don't think he cares about the quality of the music, how it sounds in the car, how it sounds when you're working out, how it sounds in any kind of environment where you're trying to have fun. I think he just wants people to post his lyrics and be like, wow, Eminem's really. I think it started with Rap God. People went crazy for Rap God when it came out. And I think ever since then, he's just been trying to prove like I am the best, technically the best rapper or one of the best rappers ever. Look at these double entendres. Look at how I rhyme this with this. Look how I said 10 things in 1 second. See, it's that I think he's stuck in that mode where he just doesn't. Plus the fact he don't go outside. He's not in clubs. He don't really know what's popping right now music wise, I'm sure. So that could be an issue too. But yeah, I think he's just too focused on the lyrics and he don't really care about the beats.
It's funny you say that too, because I feel like that's probably why he's never going to change, because I feel like that's his whole damn fan base, man. His fan base, they don't never talk about the production. They talk about the lyrics. And whenever you try to call out the production or saying, oh, this is whack, you know what they do? They go right to the lyrics. They say, oh, you got to listen to what he's saying, or no, lyrically, and y'all focus on that. I'm focused on the lyrics. They just go right to the lyrics. So I guess it do make, I guess that's where his fans are, man. I guess that's why he just focused on that, because I never hear no Eminem fans say, you know what, that beat was cold, or, you know, the way he flowed on that. They just go right to lyrics, man. And that's why Gucci, man, we play that drop all the time of him saying, oh, just metaphors. Huh? You just be riding, just listening to metaphors. And to me, I was always more of a, I was a lyric guy. I think that's very important. But I always fell in love with production, man. So it was a lot of stuff that I listened to that was bad lyrics, even back in the 90s, man. I think about RZA. RZA wasn't the most lyrical guy ever to me, but I was a fan of his production. Old Dirty Bastard, he had some lyrics, but sometimes he just go off the chain where you be like, man, what is this guy doing? But his production was good, man. I was always married to the production a little more than the lyrics. But whenever you talk to a Eminem stan, they always try to compare the lyrics. They always try to say, oh, lyrically, he's better than. And it's just like, man, like that's not the only thing I look at, man. I think lyrics and production is a marriage, and you just can't go off of just the lyrics. Otherwise, just release a acapella then, man, if you want to just focus on lyrics. But yeah, that kind of makes sense, man. That makes sense why he don't really put much into his production or try to switch it up a little bit. You just focus on words.
Yeah, or like making a good hook or something that's catchy. And the thing is, he used to be good at these things, man. Look at the song Superman. Look how good that song sounds. Even today, dog, you can put that song on, it's gonna get shit jumping. That song just sounds good. The hook is good. The lyrics are good. Like everything about that song, just you could play it anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But now his music is just too. He's so far removed from that version of Eminem. And to be fair, I think maybe him being sober might do a lot with a lot of it too, because I know he was hard into addiction back then. So maybe him being sober has affected his music, which is unfortunate to say. I don't want to say, him being sober is bad for him, but at least creatively, he's not focused on the music as far as the sound of the beats and all that anymore. And it is what it is.
Yeah.
TJ says you got to have genuine versatility to venture out to different projects. Eminem just doesn't have it. Yeah, he really doesn't, man. I think he's like I said, that's the thing too. I think I remember a quote Steve Martin apparently said, the comedian. He basically said after he started getting super famous, he stopped doing stand-up comedy. When he was in movies and all this stuff, he stopped doing stand-up comedy because he couldn't tell if he was actually funny or if they were just laughing because they saw him on stage. And they just say, hey, Steve Martin, the funny guy, they just start laughing at anything he says. And I think that's the thing with artists as big as Eminem. When you see your first week sales and you see how big they are, you don't really start to question, hey, does my music sound good? You're going to think, well, it must sound good since it's selling this much. But it's selling this much because you're Eminem.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's selling because you're Eminem. And you don't get the feedback of people actually critiquing you and your music. Or if you do, you just ignore it. Because you just point to the numbers and say, hey, it sold this much. They must like it.
Yeah.
So I think that's where he's at. But,
yeah,
it is what it is.
that's kind of similar to like, let's say Jay-Z. Some people might say his Reasonable Doubt album is his best project. Like, Front to Back project, that's his best project. But that album didn't sell a lot. It wasn't like he had probably more albums that sold more at that time. Reasonable Doubt was one of them albums that took a little time to cook. And after that, though, other albums he dropped probably sold. He went platinum like fairly quickly. And maybe that's something that's kind of, I guess, like that too, where now Jay-Z so big, people gonna go to his, they're gonna buy his album regardless, rather than early Jay-Z where maybe that project was better, but it just took a little time to cook. And I know Jay-Z might be that might be a bad example because Jay-Z actually got better. He didn't really get bad lyrically as much. I know he had some moments, but he was still good. But I would say 50 Cent is probably the perfect example too, because his debut album, that Get Rich or Die Trying, that was a good album, man. I know that sold a lot, but his other album sold a lot too. And I don't know if it's better than Get Rich or Die Trying, because he actually put a lot into that album. But yeah, now you at a point where you like, am I really good, or I'm just this huge artist where I'm gonna sell no matter what?
Yeah, that's where it is, man. But he'll figure it out or not, because ultimately he's gonna do numbers regardless because he's Eminem.
Yeah,
He's a huge fan base. So
yeah, I was about to say it probably don't even matter at this point. He's still doing the numbers. He's pleasing his fan base, his diehard fan base. So if they like it, man, that's what it is then.
And I will say I did like the direction he went with this album in terms of like the Eminem versus Slim Shady thing. And then he did like a fake interview with current Eminem and Slim Shady that I think was AI generated. But it was funny. He was poking fun at himself for the stuff he's done and said. And the fake TV news stuff about Slim Shady being killed, like, it was creative, man. At least he tried something. So I'm not knocking that.
Yeah, I do think this was a project thought out. It wasn't like just let me make some music and just go about my day. He actually he actually had a concept to this. Yeah. So I thought it was cool, man. Salute to him. I thought it was cool. I just kind of wish he going the other direction. And TJ, I think it was a great point about him not really being versatile. And that's what I like about other artists like a Currency who can rap with anybody or rap to anything. And I guess Eminem ain't one of them artists. I think he could if he tried. I don't know how it would sound, but I don't know. I just like people who step outside the box a little bit and try some stuff, take some risk.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe he thought this album would be a risk because he said all this cancel-worthy stuff and nobody cared. So, yeah, I don't know. But anyway, we move on. I did bump the Common and Pete Rock Pete, that should be a new rap name. Somebody, some lean bass rapper, Pete Rock.
Yeah.
Common and Pete Rock dropped the Auditorium Volume 1. I skimmed it. I meant to go back and I just never did, but it does sound good, man. Dope beats, dope rhymes. Pete Rock still got it. Common, of course, can still rap. I recommend it if you like hip hop, if you like Common, if you like that old school, kind of boom bappy type sound, music with a message. I recommend it, man. It's a good album. Childish Gambino
Real quick
came
before
back.
you get to that one, will you be checking out the no, you know what? That's Q-Tip doing the album with LL Cool J.
I heard we didn't talk about that song, did we? Did we talk about that song?
Which one?
The song he dropped with Rick Ross. I think we did, didn't we?
Yeah. He dropped another song too with somebody, but Q-Tip was on the production. I want to say.
I heard him say this is his best album.
Yeah, he been doing a little promo run too, man. LL Cool J just kind of gearing up for this album. I was gonna see if you gonna check that album out.
Number one, I will say this is by no means going to be his best album. Okay, I hate when people say that it's my best album yet, the newest one you're working on. Okay,
Jay-Z said Magna Carta was his best album.
Yeah, I understand being excited for your own work, and I think every artist should approach their new album like it's their best work. But don't say it publicly because we're going to disagree, man. I will check the LL Cool J album, man. I'll check it out. I'll give it a listen.
It's called The Force.
I'll check it out. I'll check out what Uncle L got to say at his advanced age, man. I'll give it a shot. I've been promoting older rappers getting back in the game and doing their thing and giving us, not trying to catch on to the current sound and not trying to get the yeet beats and trying to sound like Playboy Cardi, but actually doing their own thing for an older audience. So I will support it. I will listen to it at least once in full.
I'm trying to see who's all on this album. It looked like it's a track list and everything. So this it looked like he got the Roots on here. Appearances by the Roots. I like when people say appearances. Appearances by the Roots, Jazzy Jeff, Salt and Pepper, Queen Latifah, Rakim, Common, MC Light, Method Man and Redman, Bit Boy, Bone Thugs and Harmony. And,
okay.
I think. Yep, I think so. Yep. These are the
sounds like a really dope old head festival line up, man.
Yeah, I was trying to make sure this wasn't like a tour because he's going on tour too. This would be his first tour in like 30 years. So I was trying to make sure this wasn't like a tour. I think. Wait a minute.
I mean, with that many people, it has to be the album, man.
Yeah, I'm trying to make sure this ain't a tour because they showing a track list and all that stuff. So let me make sure. And I think this come out September 6th.
Okay.
So in a couple weeks. I think
give it a spin, man. I will spin it.
Yeah, I'm looking at the track list now. I think that might have been some type of tour or something.
Oh, okay.
Maybe certain cities, certain tour or something like that. But I'm looking at the track list now and look like he got Snoop on here. He got Rick Ross and Fat Joe. We heard that song. Sweetie, that's the one that I was kind of like, huh?
Oh.
You got the song with Sweetie, who by the way broke up with YG. Got a song with Busta Rhymes, Nas, our boy Eminem.
Okay.
So I think that's the official track.
Where's the cannabis feature, man? Dead the Beef has been 30 years now. Bring back cannabis.
Yeah, but and I think that album is produced by Q-Tip.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll check it out, man. I will give it a spin. I'll give Uncle L the time of day, man, because I do support what he's doing as far as music.
Yeah, people been wanting some real hip hop.
Real hip hop. He gonna do it to us meatballs, man. He told us, he warned us, he gonna do it to the meatballs. So here it comes.
Yeah.
Childish Gambino, I have nothing to say. I did not listen to the album. I've been wanting to get this off my chest for a long time. I've never been a fan of this dude's music, man. I've never liked Childish Gambino.
Mm.
He came from that dorky blog era that Chance the Rapper and Asher Roth and all them corny motherfuckers came from. And I just don't like their music, man. Yes, Redbone was good. Keep in mind that wasn't a rap song.
Yeah.
But I think as far as his rapping, I just don't like him as an artist, man. There's nothing against him personally. I think he's creative. I think he's a talented director and whatnot. Probably a good writer. His music has never done it for me. I don't like him.
You mean to tell me you ain't like This Is America?
Oh God. It really is a crazy looking back on how the way people talked about that song.
Mm-hmm.
It made me feel like I was in a fever dream. I'm like, do y'all really think this is deep? What the hell is this? Didn't that shit win a Grammy too?
I think that sound about
I'm
right.
sure it did. I'm sure it did.
I know they was talking about that shit on CNN.
Yeah. Wow, what a powerful message. Don't catch you sleeping, bro.
Yeah.
Look out on this goofy ass dance he was doing, that feminine dance he was doing that shit. I'm like, awful time. Awful time.
So yes, according to Google AI's version of or Google's AI version or whatever, they said it did win a Grammy in 2019. That came out in 2019.
It was probably best rap song.
Yeah.
It probably won over some actual good shit.
It actually won. So it won record of the year, song of the year, best rap duo, best rap video.
If that song came out during the George Floyd time, it would have went even crazier on social media, man. They would have said this is the best song since Tupac Changes. People would have went crazy for that song, man. And they already did. But if it came out in 2020 after the George Floyd thing, they would have been calling it the most important rap song of all time. So
yeah, and this song came out 2018. I didn't realize it was that long. I don't know why I thought that song came out in 2020, but it came out in 2018, man.
The only socially conscious rap song we got from 2020 was a Lil
Baby. Yeah.
All colors ain't bad. Yeah.
That's gonna be a time to revisit, man. During that 2018 to 2020 moment, especially 2020. I can't wait till they do a doc on the year 2020.
Yeah, it still feels like a dream, man, except we're still living in the aftermath of this fucking inflation that never went away.
Never went away, man.
DJ said it did win a Grammy. What a travesty. Yeah, man. Let me look up now that I'm annoyed enough. Yeah, what was nominated?
Man.
Okay, can I see the nominees?
Search 2018 Grammys.
2019 Grammys.
Or 2019 Grammys.
Let me look. Okay, luckily there's a site. Go ahead. What? Okay, let me see. Oh, it doesn't say the okay. It won record of the year?
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
It won record of the year. I thought it won like hip hop. So I would be okay.
So it won.
It won record of the year.
So the nominees for record of the year was Cardi B, I Like It, Brandy Carly, The Joke. I'm not sure what that is. Yeah. Drake, God's Plan.
That's why Drake was mad.
Yep.
He probably thought giving away money in the video would have ensured he would get that record of the year.
Yeah, I would have thought that. I thought that was a possibility, but Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper, Shallow. I'm surprised they ain't went song of the year. That song was all over the place. Kendrick Lamar and SZA, All the Stars, Post Malone, Rockstar, and Zed, The Middle.
So it won record of the year and song of the year. and best rap song performance of the year.
Song of the year was All the Stars.
And it won best music video. So it won 4 awards. All the awards it was nominated for in 2019, it won.
Yeah. I see
And
why.
we don't even talk about this song no more except to laugh at it.
Yeah, I see why Drake was pissed too, because he got it over Song of the Year too. And yeah, man, nah, this was rough, man. I didn't even realize how bad this was.
Yeah.
This was the definition of living in the moment. This was in the moment.
And unfortunately, that's a lot of songs and movies that win awards. You look back and how was it? Crash won Film of the Year. That movie was terrible. Slumdog. There's a lot of movies you go back and just you think were cringe, and songs that were cringe too, but they won because they were quote unquote important. And that's another one we don't even talk about or acknowledge.
Yeah.
TJ says, I went to Discount Tire and asked why the same ass tires went up, and they said COVID. I told them that's 4 years ago. Yeah, that's that. Nah, man. This inflation, at least stop lying to my face. Just tell me you charge more because you can. Don't act like we in some kind of shortage of any of this shit anymore, man. All right? That lie is done. It is not that. Y'all jacked up the prices and found out people still buy it.
Yeah.
So,
that's how I feel. Even that's the same thing to me with chicken wings, man. Remember chicken wings it was a high demand on chicken wings.
Mm-hmm.
And how they went up, and then they tried. Remember, what was it? Wingstop tried to do the chicken thighs and all that stuff. I'm like, why is chicken wings so damn high right now, man? It just seemed like they just tried to find something to go up on, and I don't know, man. It didn't make any sense to me why stuff was going up that high.
Like, okay, there was a shortage.
Is there a high demand on tires? To my man TJ, is it like did that demand just come out of nowhere?
When manufacturing got shut down, yes, there was a shortage on a lot of things, but we're not in that anymore, man. There's no excuse for things to be way more expensive than they were 4 years ago, especially things that weren't affected. Everything is more expensive now by a good deal, even by normal inflation standards. It makes no sense for stuff to be this expensive, man. There's some things I just refuse to buy because they're just charging more for no reason. And I'm like, okay, I don't need hummus at the fucking grocery store is $5 for a little fucking case. No, I don't need it that bad.
Yeah, that's what. And they tried. Remember, they tried to do that with crawfish this season. Like they're trying to sell that shit for like $14 a pound, $19 a pound. And it was just like, no, I think nobody bought it, so they had to go down on the price. But I'm like, why are y'all deciding to just go up on this stuff? And I know they're gonna use the excuse of shortage and with the weather and the crawfish not showing up and all this other bull jive. Like, no, like it show you that they, if people don't buy it, they have no choice but to go down.
Yeah, that's what happened with eggs. Remember, for a while, eggs were expensive as fuck.
Yeah,
and the price was jacked up way high, and people stopped buying it.
Yeah,
they finally brought it back down a little while ago. But nah, man, that the price of eggs, they tried to really nickel and dime with that shit. It was ridiculous. I forget how much it went up to, but it was something crazy.
Yeah,
like, nah, we don't need to eat eggs that much, man. We'll do something else.
Yeah, who is eating eggs like that anyway?
For cooking, I get, but yeah, you can move around that. You don't if you're gonna charge that much, and it's not like pay went up to even justify this.
Yeah,
exactly. So wages are still the same as they ever been, but everything costs more. Ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
You think Kamala's gonna change it in office, right? Anyway, speaking of which, we'll just get into that right now. Fuck it. Actually, yeah, let's talk about that right now.
Yeah, we hear, man. A lot has happened since.
A lot has happened. Some of the stuff you might even forget happened because it's been so long. But we had a assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump. And we also had a Joe Biden step down
Stepping
from
out the race.
presidency. He stepped out the presidential race and is nominated Kamala Harris and her VP Waltz. What's his name? Tim Waltz.
Tim Waltz. Yeah.
Tim Waltz is going to be her vice president if she wins. So he's on the ticket now. Biden, I think he got that. The story Gilbert Arenas had when they were in the playoffs against the Cavaliers and LeBron tapped him on the shoulder at the free throw line. It whispered something we couldn't hear, but apparently he told him, like, if he misses free throw, then he's out. Then y'all gonna lose this game.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what happened with Biden and LeBron. I think I think Obama, or I said LeBron, I meant Obama and Biden. I think Biden was at the free throw line and Obama, aka LeBron, tapped him on the shoulder and told him it's time, man. Sit down, old man. Sit down, it's over.
Yeah.
And, suddenly, after saying he would not step down, after saying he would stay in the race, Biden stepped down. Now there's Kamala running for president. Now I will admit I was wrong in terms of her ability to win this race. I think she could take it, definitely.
Yeah, it's looking like it, and you could tell too because Trump seemed a little intimidated, man. It looked like he did not want this to happen. I don't think nobody expected Biden to step down because we never seen nothing like that before. But it seemed like when it happened and she was like the front runner, it seemed like this is the first time I seen him really intimidated, a little scared. And you could tell they were trying to do everything in their right mind to say, nah, she can't do this. And remember it was the whole thing about the I guess the presidential, the campaign money and all that stuff, and saying how she can't take over that. And to me, you could tell that was like more of a just throwing some shit out there to stop it. And at that point, I was just like, damn, she might actually have a chance.
Yeah, I think Trump just misses Biden. I think he misses his favorite op. I think Biden was Trump's favorite op, man. It reminds me of there was a video of somebody who was King Von's op, and he was reminiscing on their times like he missed them.
Going to war.
And he was like, Von was my favorite op. I used to call him. We used to FaceTime and talk shit. I'm like, FaceTime him? Y'all trying to kill each other, right? But I think
I know some people that was like that too, man. Like back when I was in high school, it was these two guys. Every time they saw each other, they would fight. And it got to the point where they low-key started respecting each other, man.
Yeah,
like, every time they come around the corner, they like, oh man. All right. Fight, man. And they used to fight every single time they seen each other, to the point they knew what it was as soon as they saw each other, man. Like,
yeah,
here come this nigga, man. All right. Guess gotta fight. So yeah, no, that stuff be facts, man.
Yeah, and I'm sure once they stop fighting every day, once they stop seeing each other, they miss each other.
Yeah. They low-key started respecting each other. Like, man, yeah, you ain't so cool. You ain't so bad after all, man.
Yep. I think Trump misses Biden, man. I think number one, Biden was an easy target for him. He was very susceptible to getting joked on. It was easy to make old man jokes about Biden. He made it very easy in the way he composed himself. Kamala is not that easy, man. What can you really attack? You can't attack she's a woman because you want to get women to vote for you.
Yeah, so, you're gonna be looked at as a sexist.
Yeah, and I mean, conservatives don't care about that much, but you can't just come out and say, because they're trying to get people in the middle to vote for you, right? So you can't just come out and say, what, is woman gonna run against me? You think she's gonna be president? You can't go there.
Yeah, or a woman can't run the president. Or a woman can't run this country like this, right? Then it might be some women that be like, man, like you being ignorant right now. So
yeah, you can't attack the gender, you can't attack the age like you were with Biden. Now Trump's the old man in the race. which is very funny. I've heard that rumor, the conspiracy theory that Biden only stayed as long as he did to get the old man sucks. Get this old man out of here. He's too old to run. Old people suck. That narrative had to take root. Then he left. Now you have to flip. Dog, somebody pointed out that Amazon sold a shirt. It was a pro-Trump shirt that said, "Don't let the old man back in." And somebody left a customer review saying, I got the shirt and it's fine. But now that Trump dropped out the race, it looks like I'm anti-Trump. I can't even wear this around my friends anymore.
Yeah. So it's like the roles, the tables is turned.
Yeah, turn the tables, man. It's gonna flip the script.
Yeah.
And now the narrative and she's not even going there yet, but I'm sure when it gets closer, it's like, look how y'all thought Biden was too old. Trump ain't that much younger. You gonna let a almost as old person in worse shape get in there? So she has a lot she can attack him on, and not a lot he can attack her on. Yeah. So he's just trying to get she's not really black. He's trying to get the black people, the militant black people, to act like she's not black or something.
Yeah, but, which is wild to say as a white man.
Yeah, exactly. I did see Fabio Foreign and Kodak Black got some new pro-Trump song that just came out today. So,
oh damn, I ain't seen that.
I did. Yeah, it's what you think it is, man. So yeah.
But yeah. Like real quick, I just kind of want to go a little bit down to like. I was shocked to see Biden step down, to be honest. I thought he was trying to get in the office, and then eventually we had this conversation on here. Like, they trying to get him in the office so he could have another 4 years, and then eventually pass the baton to Kamala. And I was kind of shocked. I knew it got really bad, man. I don't know how people realize how bad it got. But this dude Biden, remember he introduced I forget, it was a president of one of the countries.
He called Zelensky Putin.
Yeah. Everybody was like, oh, sorry. Yeah, we don't like Putin. I'm just
he's gonna beat Putin. Like, no, man.
Like, what is going on, man? He was looking, it was bad, man. And then somebody did a side by side of when he first got into the office, and now I'm like, man, this dude look like a dead man walking, man. I'm like, dog, this is, and then not to mention, I think Trump really had a chance because people were totally out on Biden. Like everybody I knew was just like, yeah, this ain't good. So he was going to lose. He was going to lose to Trump if he stayed in there. I don't think it was no way possible he would have won.
Yeah, nah, it was over, man. It was over. People were saying, especially when the assassination attempt, we ain't touched on that yet. When that happened, people thought it was over. It was a wrap. But this now, it's something new. It's got people energized. She's selling out tickets like she fucking prime Michael Jackson, man. Look, you see the crowds that are at these rallies, dog.
Yeah, how you feel
back in the house?
How you feel about Meg getting on the stage and doing what she?
Man,
Are you tired of the same narrative or the same formula, the same template they using to try to get black votes?
100%, but I mean it works. So I can't knock it, dog. I can't. The same black thought leaders are gonna say, and promote the Democrats and what they're doing. And I understand the pandering never worked for me. I'll never see them bringing up Luis Miguel to try to get the Latino vote. So why do our people have to be like athletes and entertainers to try to get us to vote for shit, man? It's ridiculous, but whatever. They want to be trendy and with the times. And I already saw some references to Kamala making "Not Like Us" references, which to me completely killed the song officially now. It's dead. I don't want to hear that song or hear it anything about it anymore. It had its fun. It had its time. Once politicians start using it, once teachers and politicians start talking about it, it's cooked. So no more not like us, please.
I wish they stopped doing this template of just mentioning a lyric to a song, man. I honestly feel like they started doing that when Obama did it.
Yes.
Remember, and I think Obama was genuine with this one because he do listen to music and sports and stuff like that. But I want to say I don't know if he quoted a Jay-Z lyric or he sung. I know he did this where he sung a Al Green song. He started singing Al Green, and everybody's just like, "Yeah, he wanted us. He wanted us." And I don't even know. Maybe he did try to do that just to get on our side. But I really think he like Al Green. I mean, a lot of black people like Al Green. But this stuff now, man, they just trying to quote cool lyrics. I'm just like, man, get out of here, man. I'm just sick of it, man.
It didn't start with Obama though. It started with Bill Clinton playing the saxophone on the Arsenio show.
Man, I forgot about that.
That was the first time somebody blatantly tried to pander, and it worked.
Yeah.
So
that was it. That was it.
But yeah, that was a close second too with the everything Obama did. Everybody's like, "Oh, you're so black." And it's like, gosh, can we talk about what he's gonna do in office, please? I'm sick of fucking rappers talking about him, man. So yeah. TJ says, my question is, why let Biden go in for a debate? Kamala was never the plan. I think they were confident that Biden could beat Trump because he did it before. I think they underestimated how bad he looked in public. I think they were in denial. I think, look, I've said this before. I think the plan was to get Biden the win, then have him step down while he's in office. Because I think, look, Kamala already ran for president. She didn't run a great campaign. I think they did not think she could beat Trump.
Yeah.
But now it just got to a point where, okay, Biden's definitely going to lose if we keep this up. So we have to get her in here now and just take the shot and see if it works. Now, right now, it's working.
Yeah. I honestly think Joe Biden got worse. Like, we know he was, bad from, months ago and stuff like that. But I think over the past few months, he actually got worse. He got bad. Where, I think if they knew he was this bad, he wouldn't have did that debate. They probably would have tried to cover it up. But I think it got so bad to the point, man, they thought he could cover up in that debate, and he got washed. Let's be real. He got washed in that debate. He got exposed. And it just went downhill after that, too. So I think that's where they actually had to make the choice. Like, man, because I'm sure they probably talked to him about possibly stepping down, and he didn't. So I think it got to the point where they're like, man, look, Joe, you about to lose. Look at these numbers. It's not looking good for you at all, man. The best thing you could do for us in this country is to step down. Put Kamala right there. She could pick up things. She's the only one that could beat Trump. And remember, I think when he did step down, I didn't even know who they was gonna put against Trump at all. Like, I don't even think it was somebody in the Democratic Party that was even that can even go against Trump. And she was the only one, man. I think she was the only one that could actually beat him. So I think, man, I don't think that was the plan at all. But I think it just got so bad where they had to force him out, man, because that would have been ugly for them.
Yeah, and also I think it's injected some energy into this race, man, because even the people who were in the middle, or people who just didn't give a fuck like me, like our reaction was, oh, we gonna run the same election 4 years in a row, man. We gonna run the same shit back with the same people. And if you don't like Joe, you're not gonna be inspired to vote for him. If you don't like Trump, you're of course not gonna vote for him. So you're just gonna be motivated to sit this whole thing out. Now with Kamala in, at least it's something new. At least we have something. There's hope for change. There's hope for, if you're progressive, more progression, and possibly something. I still don't know about the Israel-Palestine thing. I think that's just going to continue no matter who's in the fucking seat. But Yeah, man, it's at least injected energy into the presidential race, and people are actually excited for possibly the first woman president. Another thing I've noticed, she has not mentioned being the first woman president at all.
Really?
That's not been a storyline. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
Nobody's been talking about the first woman president. They were heavy on that with Hillary. That's
Yeah.
all you heard. It's
Mhm.
it's her time. It's
Yeah.
time for a woman president. The first woman president is going to be here.
Yeah.
Nobody's talking about that. They're just talking about let's not have Trump in there. All
Yeah.
right.
Do you feel like that's the reason why they're not doing that is because it didn't work with Hillary?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, because
They're
I do feel like with Hillary, she had a lot of other baggage too, which is why it didn't work. And she kind of underestimated Trump, just like a lot of people did, because I didn't think he was going to win. I thought it was a joke from the beginning. You know how some people say, "Oh, I'm running for president," and they bow out super early. But this dude made it to the finals, man. And Hillary pretty much got smoked, man. I don't think she really took him that serious. But I also feel like them promoting and try to big her up as the first woman president. She could be the first woman president. I feel like that. I feel like people didn't care about that, and that kind of backfired too.
it was the entitlement feeling of her campaign, man. The slogan was like, it's her turn. Like, no, it's not. Nobody gets a turn. You got to prove why you deserve our vote. You got to earn our vote. You don't just get it because it's your turn. This is not an aristocracy where if you're a queen, you're just a queen because you were born under the king or whatever the fuck. Like, no, you got to earn that shit, man. So it was it was a messaging. It was her weird tweets where she posted a picture of her in high school and she said, "Say hello to the first woman president of the United States," or some shit like she thought she had it already in the bag.
Yeah.
And it's like that's not gonna drive anybody to the polls, man. With this entitlement, I got this already. Nah, you got to talk about what you're gonna do for us and why you deserve it. Not it's your turn. But to their credit, they've learned from that. That's why you don't see none of that in the Kamala Harris campaign, man. She is not doing anything of that nature.
Yeah.
Spoon says anyone but Trump and make her story. Yeah, man. Like, that's the thing. That the campaign was poorly run and thought out from the beginning.
Yeah.
And I think they leaned into a lot of like things people say on Twitter that might get a lot of retweets, and they think that's going to resonate with the election campaign, and it's not.
And then you got to say a Beyonce lyric, "Hot sauce in my bag."
Yeah. Oh, that was bad. That was bad. I think that's low key what turned Charlemagne like radical. Because that happened on the Breakfast Club, and he didn't push back on it. And you look like a fool.
Yeah.
Now he's like super anti-Democrat at times. Because that happened when he was there and he was co-signing it. Hot sauce in the purse. I always keep some hot sauce in my purse.
Oh my God, that was awful, man.
I ordered my hot sauce an hour ago.
Hey, that's
Washington, man.
Hey, that's the same. That's pretty much the same shit, man.
100%, man.
You could tell somebody. You could tell they don't really use no hot sauce, man. Like you mentioned during that time when we was talking about that movie, who order hot sauce? and who walk around with hot? Beyonce said that she don't do that. She ain't nobody walking around with no hot sauce in their bag, man.
Some people, like if you're going out to eat, yeah, you might have some in your purse, but to brag about it, like, oh, I always keep some hot sauce on me. Like, yeah.
I never met anybody going around like, man, I need some hot. Oh, I got some right here. I've never seen nobody like that, man.
Yeah, nah. I mean, if you go into some real place to eat, they gonna have hot sauce there as well. So, yeah, that whole thing was very cringe. TJ says 2 wars currently: Russia, Ukraine, Israel, Palestine, with the potential of Iran involvement. Do things escalate regardless of the winner of the election? Yes, 100%. I mean, that's a foregone conclusion, man.
Yeah, my father was telling me about that because I don't really keep up with all that, but he hit me up. He's like, man, we about to have a world war right now, man. He was kind of giving me the breakdown. with Iran potentially getting involved, and if Iran get involved, then we got to get involved, and that means China gonna have to. He was just kind of breaking it down. I was just like, damn, all of that's happening.
Yeah, you wouldn't think because we're so disconnected from regular news now, man. A
Yeah,
lot of
and
bullshit distracts us.
yeah, and I do it on purpose, to be honest. I probably should be paying attention because to kind of see what's going on. But man, I think some shit about to go down regardless, man.
Yeah.
And the scary thing is, I do think though, like that's the one thing. And you look, I'm not taking either side or anything like that, but the one thing I will say about when Trump was in office, I felt like a lot of people around the world, a lot of countries around the world, they were terrified of what Trump could possibly do because he was just he was looked at as like a radical president, man. Like they had no idea what he was capable of. Like there was no backstory on him. He was just remember he was talking all this. Did he say? I can't remember if he mentioned about a missile. He was talking some crazy stuff. I think a lot of these countries was a little bit terrified, man. They didn't know what he was gonna do. So I think everybody was kind of cooled off a little bit and didn't really.
I actually think the opposite, man. I think that
Really?
the foreign countries liked Trump because he could be sweet talked. All you
Yeah.
really got to do to get on Trump's side is say you like him.
Yeah.
And that'll get, it's not enough. Nobody can come out. Palestine can't come out and say, we like Biden and expect him to stop funding Israel. Okay. But with Trump is a possibility. The Russian connections with him, I mean, those were real. And you could sweet talk Trump, man. That's the thing. So I don't think they feared him like that. I think they fear more of the current regime because they're going to kind of act more subversively. Like they won't, I don't think we're going to directly get involved in any of this, but we will fund who we pick, who's our allies, or we decide our allies are. And that's what they fear. They fear more indirect involvement like that. I don't think they feared Trump because he was a loose cannon, because ultimately you could sweet talk him. And then the military hated Trump. He hated the military. He talked shit about his own military, man. Remember that? He said, the army guys hate me because I don't want to start all these wars. So he admitted the military didn't like him. So I don't think they feared him like that. But I think they'll fear the current one.
Do you think they was trying to get on his good side though, just for that fact that hey, like I ain't trying to, maybe I ain't trying to get in all that mess, but you cool with me if I'm cool with you type of deal.
Yeah, I think so. I think they was trying to warm up, cozy up to him. I don't think it would have worked because I do think, look, to be honest, I think there's only so much a president can really do as far as military policy. I think decisions are made and he just has to kind of go with it. But I don't think they feared him like that. I think he could be sweet talk. You can get on his good side. You can say good things about him and he'll like you. And he like the whole thing with Elon, how he's cool with Elon again all of a sudden. He hated Elon Musk. He hated him, man. He talked shit about him every day on Twitter. Then he hated Elon so much he made his own Twitter.
He got banned from Twitter.
He got banned from Twitter. He made his own Twitter. Then Elon came on his knees and begged him to come back and talk. This glazed him for 2 hours on a Twitter space, and now they're best friends. That's all you gotta do with Trump is just sweet talking, man. He's very easy to get on his good side.
It's bad, man. It's so damn bad. But yeah, I think it's gonna be a war, man, no matter what.
Yeah.
Something gonna pop off. I just hope I ain't in the middle of it.
Yeah. Look, ultimately, I don't think we really see the effects of these things since we're so far away. We'll just read it on social media and be like, that's fucked up. And then the price of something will randomly skyrocket, say it's because of the war. Like, okay. But
cases of water are gonna go up because of the war.
Yeah, there's not gonna be no draft, man. We can't draft this current generation of kids. They're fucking not fit to fight. All right. There's not gonna be no draft. You're just gonna bomb people overseas like we've always done. So yeah. Spoon says it will be the first time since the 80s that it doesn't have a Bush, Clinton, or Biden in the election. That's interesting. I didn't think about it like that. That's a long time of the same three names, man.
Yeah, no, that is crazy. I didn't even think about it like that.
Yep. Spoon also says, plus the government is sending 40 to 80 million a week to the Taliban ran Afghanistan, funding terrorists. Well, that's nothing new. We funded terrorists for a long time. Did we actually create Al Qaeda? Last I heard, that they were actually funded by weapons that we supplied to them for a coup or whatever. So, I mean, we've been funding terrorists for a long ass time, man.
I was reading a story about how Osama bin Laden was actually cool with he was kind of like cool with the US at one point.
Yeah.
He was like I don't want to say a CIA, but he was actually working with them at some point. And he kind of grew tired. I went down a rabbit hole too, because I'm like,
the Bin Laden rabbit hole goes very deep.
Dog, I didn't realize how much I didn't know
people
about
didn't even know if he was real.
I was reading. I think I was reading. He was like cool with the U.S., but I think eventually he didn't like the way certain people was running certain stuff, and so that's when he kind of created his own thing. And he came from a lot of money too. His parents was pretty. I want to say they was pretty wealthy, and he just kind of wanted to start his own thing, I guess. But nah, it was wild, man. But Spoon just said it in the 70s versus Iran. He said we funded bin Laden. That's what I read, man. I was just like, what?
That's always how it goes. Like, we don't like a certain dictator, so we fund the rebel organization that's going to take them out. And then the rebel organization becomes the dictators and they become terrorists. So, and they got our weapons that we gave them. So that's always how it goes, man.
Yeah, because there's no way in hell somebody like that gets that much power to, not destroy the United States, but they, hit the United States that hard like that. Because we never been hit that hard, when it comes to 9/11. And it's like, how did you get that close? How did you even get to that point like that? So I think that's why a lot of people always say it was an inside job. So like dog, that's wild, man.
Yeah, that and the 9/11 rabbit hole is a whole nother rabbit hole too, man. So you'll be lost forever down there.
Yeah, I ain't even go down that one. I refuse. Maybe in about 20 years or something, I will, but not right now, man. It's still too early.
TJ says, absolutely, we funded bin Laden. Yeah, he was a big homie back then, man. Yeah, he was cool with us.
That's how I always go, man. Hey, Tupac and Biggie was cool at some point.
Yeah, exactly. Drake and Kendrick was cool, man.
Yeah, I like hearing the stories like, hey, did you know Biggie and Tupac were actually friends? Mm-hmm. They hung out in the studio together. Like, you would never believe that the way we talk about Tupac and Biggie.
Yeah.
You would never believe they were actually friends.
The video of them rapping together, this must be AI. This can't be Tupac and Biggie.
Yeah. Or Tupac. Man. Did you know Tupac was actually born in Harlem, New York?
Yeah. He moved to California when he was a grown-ass man. What? All the West Side he was throwing up, all the blood shit he was wearing. What? True.
He's actually from New York.
His original rap name was like MC New York or some shit like that, man. Like, what? Mr. West Side himself? Crazy. Spoon says Taliban just had a parade showing all the equipment we just left in Afghanistan. Armored vehicles, tanks, Apache helicopters, so much equipment. They actually have an actual army now. Yeah, it probably look like Modern Warfare too. Actually, in that industries, man.
Yeah.
No, it would be crazy if they were wearing like shit like LeBron jerseys and shit. Like they've got our clothes too. They're wearing Super Bowl champion Chiefs, shirts and shit.
Or they probably wearing the who did the Chiefs play last year?
It wasn't the Eagles, was it? It was the Eagles, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't the Eagles. That was another year. I forgot who the Chiefs played. Brad would know. But whoever the Chiefs beat, they probably got some in their Super Bowl jerseys or something like that, or Super Bowl shirts. San Francisco. They played the 49ers.
Oh yeah, I forgot all about that game already, man.
Me too. But
Damn.
they probably got some 49ers Super Bowl gear or something that they won the Super Bowl. The ones we sent over to the third
Oh
world.
yeah, to Africa.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. He just said it looked like Modern Warfare 3. Yeah, I'll bet, man. Shit, they got all the equipment we left, all the UAVs and tanks and shit. So hey, man.
Yeah.
Other things, other topics. Let's just speed run this. It's been 2 hours. We ain't even got to most of the shit. So we're gonna speed run a few things, man. Texans. We ain't talked about the Texans yet officially yet, man. Preseason is underway. Have anything stood out to you, man? Anything? I know we saw Tank with that great catch. We ain't got to see him no more. Put the bubble wrap, man. He's done. CJ looked good for what limited time we did see him. Anything else? Yeah, I know you've had feet on the ground, seeing it from the sideline. So, what have you seen in preseason that's really impressed you, man?
Man, just how I guess like this is the first time it's been like this in a long time where you got like an elite player at almost every position. So elite quarterback. You got a running back that's you could argue and say is a good elite running back in Joe Mixon. Receiver, you got Stephon Diggs, you got Nico Collins, you got Tank Dell. You got three of those. Dalton Schultz is a okay tight end. I think he could be a top 10 tight end. You just got elite players all over the place, man. And it was a time of day where that wasn't the case. And seeing them in that preseason game, they actually looked pretty good, man. The offense looked really good. CJ looked good. And look, they probably gonna play the starters tomorrow. I want to say maybe a series or two. The defense, same thing. But dog, I think no lie, I think they're gonna be all right this year, man. They just look clean, and I think the main reason is because of the quarterback, man. I think CJ the real deal. And yeah, I think they're gonna be pretty good. They got first place schedule, so schedule gonna be tough. But dog, I think they're gonna be all right, man. I'm pumped up to see them. You got the new uniforms. It's just that new H-Town blue is all over the stadium. It's just a cool feeling, man. And I know tomorrow preseason, but no, I think a lot of people are super fired up about this team.
Yeah, me too, man. Win prediction right now on the spot. How many wins?
I must say, because look, it's a tough division. I think you still gotta go through the coach. You still got the Jags. I must say, I think they're gonna win 10 games. I'm gonna say 10 games. I think they're gonna win 10 games and win the division.
That's safe. I would say 9 to 10 too. You would hope they at least match. What did they win last year? 10 games?
Yeah, they surprisingly won.
You would at least hope that they match last year's total, maybe at least 11, 12, possibly. But yeah, I would hope they don't go backwards in win rate. I know the schedule's tougher. They have some tough primetime games, man. But still, I think the division is winnable, definitely. So yeah. I would say 10 is probably the safe bet. I wouldn't want to see less than 10, but we'll see.
Yeah, and plus, like I said, the division is a little tough to me. You got the Colts who barely missed the playoffs. They had that win or go home game against the Texans. And honestly, I thought they were going to win that game. If it wasn't for that running back to drop that pass, that easy first down, they probably would have won. But you got the Jags, who was actually pretty good last season, but they just fell flat. And then Tennessee, they spent a lot of money this year. I don't know what they're gonna be. They might be that team that's in the way. That squeeze out about 6-7 wins. So it's gonna be tough, but I think they're gonna win the division with 10 wins. I'll give them that.
Yeah, I'm glad there's real genuine beef in the division now, man. Because I felt before like it was mainly fan driven. Now I really feel like these teams don't like each other. Yeah. And I know there's always been a little friction in the division games, man. But I feel now, especially the way the Colts season ended and the way that got us into the playoffs last year, they got a chip on their shoulder. Tennessee, with all the trolling they did last year, there's gonna chip there. Like there's real beef and there's real excitement with these matchups now, man. So I'm excited for it.
Yeah, and the guys on the Colts, they kind of him and CJ kind of been going back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
Zaire, shout out to Zaire Franklin. He was talking about how CJ was lightweight talking crap to him. And he was just like, dog, like y'all ain't do nothing in that first. It was talking about the first game and how CJ pretty much saying he cooked them, and it was some back and forth, but they definitely want to see each other, man. Especially, I kind of like CJ. CJ's talking a lot this all season too, man.
He is.
So, that kind of got me a little nervous, but I'm actually cool with it, man. I think he can back up his shit talking.
Yeah, look, but like I said, with the shit talking comes expectations now. The kid gloves are off, man. I think if he plays badly, it's worth calling out. Is people going to look and say, "Hey, you talked all that shit. What happened this game?" And I think in general, the Texans are the new hot thing on the block, man. The media's all over the team now, man. They slobbing it up, glazing us. And I'm like, yeah, I'm always getting nervous when this happens, man, because every time it happens, it ends in disaster for the Texans usually.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna keep my head high, man. I'm gonna be optimistic. Hope things work out. Spoon asks, what's the RB situation for the Texans running backs? I heard Dameon Pierce is still looking like Dameon Pierce.
Dameon Pierce last season.
Yeah, the last season Dameon Pierce, not the aberration.
Yeah. So Joe Mixon is RB1 clearly. Dameon Pierce right now it seems like he's RB2. But you got I think they signed Cam Akers a couple weeks ago, and he's been looking better than Pierce. I don't know if that mean anything or what, but right now I think the workhorse guy is Joe Mixon.
Yeah, I was kind of annoyed. I heard D'Amico make the comment hyping up Dameon, talking about how he's so good now. And then we saw him now, to be fair, he only played like 4 snaps, I think. But we didn't see anything that looked remotely like old Dameon Pierce.
Yeah.
So that's pretty unfortunate. But maybe we're not seeing something. Maybe we got to see a real game situation, man. I don't know, man. I'm optimistic this year, man. I'm not pessimistic. All right. I'm keeping cup half full is my motto for this year.
Yeah.
Spoon said Chiefs stars are playing a whole half. Why?
Yeah, that was wild. We talked about that. Like, I don't know how Spoon feel about that, but I thought it was kind of crazy because y'all just won a Super Bowl last year, man. And you feel nothing really changed, man. Y'all ain't had no crazy, offensive change or you ain't get a new offensive head coach or anything like that. Why is you playing a whole half, man? I didn't understand that. That's a little dicey because I know if somebody get hurt, Patrick Mahomes, hopefully not Patrick Mahomes, somebody like that get hurt, he is going to get crushed for that, playing the whole half. That's crazy.
It kind of is. Maybe there's something going on back behind closed doors we just don't see. Maybe they feel like the team just isn't there right now and they need preseason reps. I don't know. But yeah, man.
And the crazy part is they started slow last season.
They did.
I thought
Everybody thought they were done.
Yeah, and they actually won the Super Bowl. So it's like, y'all trying to do that so are y'all trying to go undefeated this season? Y'all just want to start off strong?
It could be also the fact that if you start off slow and win the whole thing, you might start to think like, I ain't got to try that hard in the beginning, man. We could, like Charles Barkley used to come to training camp or whatever basketball. He would start the season off pretty out of shape and work himself into shape. Same with Shaq. They would come out out of shape and work themselves into shape because they knew when it was time for the season to ramp up, they'd be there.
Yeah.
And maybe some people on the Chiefs feel that way. They feel like, hey, we could just kind of coast through it and ramp it up at the break. So we'll see, man. I don't know what's going on over there, but that's kind of crazy. I did think it was weird that no starters played in a Hall of Fame game, man. I get that they have a game with the Bears in like week 2 or something, but this is the first game real NFL action we got, and it's on prime time. Nobody could, not even one snap, nobody could play.
Yeah, I think too it's a little tricky too because that Hall of Fame game is technically an extra game.
Yeah,
That's an extra preseason game for them. So I think everybody got 3 preseason games, and with that Hall of Fame would make 4. And so I remember because the Browns was in it last season, and they had 4 games. I was shocked. I'm like, damn, I didn't know they had 4 games. That's kind of that's a little bit wild, especially the way they talk about how worthless these preseason games are. And I remember nobody played in that game either. So yeah, I wasn't surprised at that, but I don't know. You would think they play something in the Hall of Fame game because the Hall of Fame game is worthless, man. Like, ain't nobody out there playing. You pretty much watching this for the sideline interviews with the Hall of Fame, the people that made the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, it also got canceled or terminated after the middle of the third quarter.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was pretty wild to sit through. But we move on. TJ says, Fig, I got my fantasy draft tomorrow. Who would you say is number 1 wide receiver?
And you asking the wrong person. I do not be playing anything, man. I will say I seen a lot of people who had their draft. They did pick and I don't know if they just looking through Texans goggles, but I see a lot of people going with Tank. It seemed like Tank Dell is a popular pick for like a first round. So I don't know. I'm not no fantasy draft guru or anything like that. But I see a lot of people picking Tank, and hopefully it's not just being biased, but Tank might be the guy.
Auto draft, man, never fails. Auto draft that. AI is getting smarter. Okay, it's gonna lead you to victory. Spoon says, light a candle for Mixon. You said praise.
You think he done?
What happened? We gotta see something. Let's wait until at least game 1.
I don't think he watched.
Him.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Spoon also says, praise be to Andy Reid. And he says he always made the third preseason game the starter's game. I think he's keeping with what has worked. He'll keep the next one for those trying to make it. But, all right. A whole half is still crazy for preseason.
I get that. You see a lot of people playing in that that second preseason game, and the third is nobody. But a whole half, that's a lot, man. Use especially for somebody like a Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs who've been there. They pretty much in the middle of a dynasty. So like I don't understand playing a whole half. I get maybe a quarter or 2 series or something, but man, a whole half, that's a lot.
Andy Reid's old school, man. All these pampered athletes and their time off and all the things they do there. What's that NBA players take?
Load management.
Yeah, load managing. Yeah. We don't do that over here in the NFL, not in Chiefs territory. Other things that happened. Did you watch any of the Olympics, Figgy?
I actually did, man. I watched a good portion of it, man. I think the good thing about having Peacock, you could just go to the Olympic section and they got all the stuff that's going live right now. You could do replays and stuff like that. So I was keeping up. I was watching I watched a little bit of a track. I watched, of course, basketball, women's and men's. And what else did I watch? I watched a little bit of tennis. I was watching a lot of random. I seen a little bit of fencing because I never really watched fencing like that. But I kind of kept up with it, man. This is the most I ever watched the Olympics.
I heard that from a lot of people this year, man. I think a lot of people watch more than they usually do. I didn't really watch it. I saw some highlights. Of course, saw the memes and all that stuff. Oh yeah, we gotta talk about the motherfucking breakdancer.
Oh my god, man.
Another look. I don't want to be racist or say anything to offend people because of their race, But I'm gonna have to ask white people for a favor, man. Any white people out there, please stop making these goofy, I don't want to say hoes. Stop making these goofy people celebrities, man. I had enough with the fucking Hawk Tuah girl. Why this one too?
Yeah.
Why y'all making everybody famous, man? All right, stop. This woman who's bad at breakdancing gets to be on the fucking Tonight Show. Like the motherfuckers making merch of her now too. The dog is not that funny. All right, the Hawk Tuah thing was not that funny. The Ray Gun thing is not that funny. Yeah, she sucked. Who cares, man? I see funnier shit on Twitter every day. Just scrolling through stupid videos. All right. It did not deserve nationwide attention. All right. And even worse, the fact that she apparently scammed. It was some kind of game they ran in Australia to have her and her husband be like the head of the breakdancing committee. And then she, of course, got through everybody else because she was the head of the committee or some shit. I don't know. It was some goofy stuff going on. But I'm sick of these. Spoon says fucking white people. Look, I'm not saying that much. I'm just saying I'm sick of seeing these regular ass people who are not funny be celebrities.
Yeah.
Just because of one funny moment they had.
Yeah.
A girl is getting, dog, she threw the first pitch of the Mets game, dog.
Yeah.
You see that shit?
Yeah, I did.
Why, someone explain for your people why y'all had the Hawk Tuah girl throwing first pitches. You think about how many black people go viral for some stupid shit. We don't have them out there shooting free the first shot of a Rockets game or something. They're not in the lake. They're in the Lakers doing some shit for them. Why? Explain this shit, man.
That is
crazy. Get a press conference too afterwards.
Oh my God, man. Nah, this is it's low key embarrassing. It's like secondhand embarrassing.
High key embarrassing, man. I really can't believe it. When I saw the breakdancing girl on the Jimmy Fallon Tonight Show, I wish Black Thought would have slapped them. And y'all got the roots there. You know they was embarrassed.
Yeah.
You got a classic hip hop group as your band, and they got to sit there and watch this goofy woman try to break dance badly, purposefully. Awful.
It's bad. Outside of that, how do you feel about even that breakdance and stuff being in the Olympics?
I had no problem with it. Like, I thought it was kind of strange to add in 2024. I mean, it would have made more sense in like the 1987 Olympics. I know there's Olympics that year, but it was weird to add in 2024. I didn't see no black people doing it. I only saw like Asians and so that was kind of weird, but I had nothing against it, man. I guess the Olympics, they're going to do this every 4 years. They're going to have a random sport be in the Olympics. I heard they're going to make gaming in the Olympics now too. They're going to have gaming events. They're going to have like fighting games. They're going to have like Rocket League and all this stuff. So I think they're just going to start doing this to get more people to watch. They're going to have, these odd sports that are going to be Olympic sports now, but it's not going to be every year. They already said they're not going to have breakdancing next year or next Olympics. So
yeah, see, to me, this is how I put it earlier this week. I didn't have a problem with it. I think it was actually cool that I guess knowing where hip hop came from, and that was one of the elements of hip hop, like original elements of hip hop was breakdancing. I thought that was pretty cool, especially it being in the Olympics and for the whole world to see. I just think it was way too doggone late. Like, I didn't even know people were still breakdancing like that. And I know people be dancing, but just to have an actual contest of breakdance, I didn't know that was still around. And two, just the people that was in it, man, to me, it just wasn't right, man. I think they didn't do, I don't think they did this right at all. They should have just had general dancing at that point and have Team USA just cool, like the way Chris Brown be dancing or something. I don't know. Like maybe have a group or something like that. I just the way it went down, man, I was fine with them leaving this, like getting rid of this. I ain't like that at all. However, we did talk about this though. I think and I'm not even being just like a pervert, nasty man, but I think pole dancing will be a great competition, man.
Yeah, why not?
To me, that's an art. I think that's a damn sport, man. Like that ain't nothing to just sneeze at. Like that shit hard as hell to do. I think it's a lot of people around the world that do pole dancing that can actually get up on the pole, do pole dancing. I think that would be a fire ass Olympic sport, man.
Yeah, why not, man? I don't have against anything against it. You could take the girl who climbed it to the ceiling and fell all the way down to the floor. Get her in there, man. But yeah, I think it's people associate pole dancing with strip clubs, and I understand, but no, there's actually like athletic ability going on there with what people do, and not everybody does it to strip. Yeah, it's actually done normally. So yeah, I wouldn't be mad at it. Spoon said, "I'm saying it. Don't get caught. I don't get it. We move closer and closer to idiocracy." Talking about the Hawk girl. Yeah, man, I don't get it either. That was ridiculous. TJ said it was so bad they announced they will not have breakdancing next time. That's how awful it was. To be fair, from what I've heard, that's not the reason why. I heard that they did not plan to have it regardless of what happened this year. I think it's supposed to be a one-off event for this Olympics. I don't think they plan to bring it back no matter what. So yeah, it is funny to think that the woman was so bad that she ruined it for everybody. But from what I understand, the event itself wasn't bad. I saw like the finalists and they were going crazy, man. So the event wasn't bad. I think people just seen that one woman up there and thought the whole thing was like that, and it wasn't. Yeah. But yeah, I'm not surprised. We don't need to see that every year, every 4 years. So yeah, TJ said, "Big on to something." Yeah, hey, submit that to the Olympic Committee, man. Tell them pole dancing. Tell them we need it.
How funny would it be to see somebody like just different countries, Team USA, Team Dubai, or
Team Brazil, and everybody got BBLs.
No, just imagine seeing somebody like Cardi B joining the team or something.
That would be funny.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah, coach
Amber Rose.
Yeah,
that would be hilarious.
It'll be wild, man. Spoon said, "Now I gotta give Cinnamon a medal." Yeah, we gotta give. You gotta give Mercedes a bronze medal.
Yes.
Gonna take that back to Magic City and say, "Hey, I'm an Olympic champion." DJ said Atlanta winning the pole dance alone. Yeah, they're gonna clean up, man. That's all we need.
Yeah, just get some girls from Atlanta. They gonna clean you right up. Or get some girls from P Valley.
I'm down with it, man. I'm down with it. So yeah, we gotta think of some other Olympic events at some point.
Yeah.
Other things that happened recently. I'm not gonna talk about the hurricane. We already talked about that. I mean, we didn't, but it's happened so long ago. So I guess we could give a quick recap, man. Were you okay during the hurricane?
Yeah, I was good. I was kind of like everybody else. Mainly, I lost power for like 2 days though. It wasn't a week or a week and a half. Mom-in-law was in town, so she experienced her first hurricane. I actually stayed up here at the station because I had to work the next day, and they wanted to make sure people was here to work, so they got us some food and all that stuff. So I just spent the night up here. But yeah, we made it okay, man. We survived. Nothing crazy, no crazy damage or anything like that.
That's good, man. Same here. Luckily, I didn't lose power. It was a ghost town around here, though, man. I was driving around Monday night. Shit, I never seen it look like that, man. Whole blocks without power. Nothing was open. Nothing was open except gas stations.
Damn.
So, yeah, shit was wild, man. Felt like living in Silent Hill or some shit, man. It was crazy. Oh yeah, let's do a beef update or Drake and Kendrick weekly.
Oh man.
So it's
dragging this out too, man.
Yeah, it's been drug out to death. I know Drake has been releasing stuff. He released 100 gigabytes of stuff, and at first I was like, "Oh wow, it's gonna be a bunch of new music." It was like 3 songs.
It was 3 songs and a whole bunch of random ass content. Like,
Videos of backstage stuff. And it's very misleading to say 100 gigabytes worth because it's really like only a few. You know how when you take a video with a high end camera and then put it on, is the file size is like ridiculous.
yeah.
It's like a
5 minute,
30-second video is like 5 gigabytes.
yeah, a 5-minute video could be about 100 gigabytes.
Yeah. Before
Yeah.
you export it to something more manageable, it's gonna be
Yeah.
a huge ass file.
Yeah.
So yeah, he did release a bunch of stuff. And look, I'm actually in support of this. I think it's cool that somebody just released a bunch of backstage stuff and not try to sell it to us.
Yeah.
Usually people, when they release stuff like this, they put it on a DVD or something like that. They just say, hey, behind the scenes footage of the concert with some new music. He could have tried to package it in a release and he didn't. He just put it out there.
Yeah.
And I'm mad at it, man. I think more artists should do some stuff like that.
Yeah, I was actually fine with it too. I actually support that because he didn't just put it on a streaming server. I think the songs are on streaming service now, but at the time he actually created a website. Everything. I thought it was a cool, creative way of leaking your own songs, man. And yeah, I thought it was cool, man. It kind of got some behind the scenes stuff of like I thought this was kind of funny how him doing I guess record some songs for Kanye, like doing some ghostwriting for Kanye. So just random little stuff like that. I thought it was different, man. Something different instead of just the fake leak. Like, oh, they leaked my song, knowing you went to a burner account and put it out or something.
Yeah, acting like somebody hacked this stuff and leaked it.
Yeah,
I think actually maybe if it wasn't for this beef, he would have done that. But since the beef happened, he can't just say, "Oh, somebody," because everybody would say, "Oh, somebody from TDE did it."
Yeah, Kendrick
went over Drake.
Credit.
Yeah, Kendrick got the credit for leaking his stuff. I'm like, okay. So yeah, TJ said Ryan Badenbucci, man, come on. So yeah, other news though, in the beef, apparently Schoolboy Q and Sir, 2 artists on TDE, had their shows in Toronto canceled, and they don't know why. Well, they have ideas why, but they weren't told why. So, what is your thought on this, Figgy? Do you think Drake is pulling the strings? Do you think he's flexing his muscle, getting TDE out of Toronto, or do you think it's something else going on here?
I think that's exactly what it is. I think he flexing his muscle, and honestly, man, like I'm not even mad at it, man. If I'm petty, if I'm just as petty as Drake, nah, y'all ain't getting no money in my town, man. After y'all was on that stage, I watched that damn live performance he had, that Kenny and Friends BS. So I'm looking at everybody on that stage, whoever on that stage, nah, y'all ain't performing that at this venue. And I think he has some type of stock in that venue too. I don't know how much did he own of that venue, but I think he might have some type of ownership or something with it. I can't remember, but if that's the case, nah, you ain't performing that. You ain't performing there. I'm blocking all that. I respect that, man. I respect that.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Part of me wants to think, yeah, Drake is behind it, but part of me honestly thinks that Canadian officials just don't want any drama in their cities, man. And Toronto officials can realize when something's going to be hot.
Yeah.
I think the thing with Rick Ross being there and that fight that broke out, look, usually I'm not going to say Toronto. I don't know what the crime statistics are, but I know it's hard to get into Canada, period.
Yeah,
I have a record, any kind of record on you, they ain't going to let you in there.
Yeah, sometimes athletes had trouble getting in there.
Yeah, they don't just let anybody in Canada, man, especially if you have anything on your record. Yeah. So I think in general, they just don't want any of that kind of riffraff in their vicinity and their cities and their, venues. So when they see something like, okay, we know this person is affiliated with Kendrick and they got beef and it might get violent, just shut it down. Now, Drake is probably going to take credit for it, even if he's not behind it. And I don't blame him for that because, he's acting like he a mob boss in real life. Then go ahead and play the role. So he's going to act like he's behind it, but I don't know if he actually is. He could be. He could be. But even if he's not, he's going to act like he's going to drop some subliminals in his next album that's going to make a reference to this. Yeah. You can guarantee it. So I can see that happening.
Yeah. I'm just ready. I mean, it's over in my book. I'm not letting it bother me, but it's funny seeing people still talk about this, man. They just I think I say something. What was it? I think it was when Drake released these 100 gigs, and the song with 21 or somebody. He had a song with somebody, and it was like, oh, you got the song with 21 Savage. Oh, that line in Kendra's song, aged like milk. It's like, bro, like, just let it go, man. Like, why is we still doing it? Academics keep holding on to this, man. I feel like he running out of content at this point.
Yes.
Because why is you still breaking down this beef, man? Why you still talk about Kendrick doing a song on a Bay Area beat and how he never did anything for the area? Like, why is he still talking about that? I feel like this guy just running out of content. I like academics too, man. I like what he do. But at this point, man, I felt like this is an evergreen subject for him, where if ain't nothing to talk about, hey, let me talk about Kendrick, how Drake beat Kendrick and all this other stuff. Man, I'm sick of it, man. People trying to, and the irony of this too is when he dropped the video, we probably talk briefly about the video. I want to get your thoughts on the video. But,
we didn't talk about the video yet.
When he dropped the video, all these Drake stands was talking about, oh, he's just stretching his beef out. Oh, he just trying to carry this beef on and da da da. Like, dog, y'all the ones that keep talking about it. Kendrick ain't say nothing. We haven't heard one peep on Kendrick how he feel about the beef. Even when he was on that stage, he didn't say anything out of his element. He didn't say, F Toronto or Drake is a sub. He ain't say nothing. He ain't dressed anything. All he did was perform the songs, which is crazy to me because I would have been talking cash shit. But he was on that stage. He ain't say anything, man. He dropped the video, ain't say anything. And they keep talking about, oh, he trying to stretch this beef out. And I'm like, bro, he did what anybody else would have did.
No, he did, man. And the video, I thought it was pretty good. I haven't gone back to watch it since that one time watching it personally. One time was enough. It was a good video. Very creative for what it was, for what Kendrick does. What was I going to say about it? Oh, yeah. I don't think it was ever in the plans to make a video for this song, though. That's the thing. When Drake dropped his video, he obviously planned to have a video for that diss song that came out, Family Matters.
Yeah.
I don't think Kendrick really, maybe it's possible that he didn't even think this would be the big record because apparently he had more in the chamber.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't think he ever expected this song to be, at this point, it has to be the biggest song of his career, right? It has to be up there.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I don't think he ever thought this song would be this big or expected it to, or maybe even wanted it to, because it's a diss song. Yeah. So it took a life of its own, and he had to make a video for it.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's caught up on his beef anymore, man. It's over. They both moved on. I'm kind of getting sick of people. Look, I know Kendrick won the beef. I will say Kendrick won the beef decisively. But everybody trying to spin everything Drake does into some kind of loss now is getting a little silly, man. And I'm not on Drake's side at all. But yeah, people are really going out of their way. Anything he does, any picture he takes, see, he's not like us. See, told Kendrick told y'all about him. He's taking a picture with this 25-year-old. What the fuck? What the fuck, man? Enough is enough. The beef was entertaining. It was very entertaining. Worth talking about for weeks at a time. It's over now, man. We ain't got to drag out everything Drake does and overreact to it.
Yeah.
Now we don't even see Kendrick. That's the thing. I think people are just starving to have that feeling back because there's nothing to react off of Kendrick because he's gone again. So,
Yeah.
but Drake be outside all the time. He's still outside. We see him the most, and everybody wants to poke at this beef and try to get it sparking again or something. It's not going to happen, man. It's over, and they both moved on. Drake ain't going to starve. All right. I think he's peaked as far as popularity goes, but he's not going to starve. He'll be fine.
Perfectly
Kendrick, of course, has gotten bigger and bigger. So, as far as his beef, I'm kind of over it, man. It was a great moment in time. It's great to revisit from time to time, but as far as poking at every new thing and asking if it's part of the beef or acting like it's a loss for Drake, it's getting silly.
Yeah, and this is coming from both sides too. Like I'm not picking the side either, but it's coming from both sides, man. And it's honestly, I want to pick. I feel like I expected this from Drake stance. I expected Drake stance because they kind of always been like that, man. I don't want to call them delusional, but they kind of just they always had Drake glasses on. But Kendrick stands, man, I was kind of disappointed in the way they were acting, man. I'm just like, all right, like I like Kendrick too, but like, come on now, he ain't that damn good. Like, all right now, like, damn, bro. But yeah, I'm just glad it's over. I'm tired of all that, and yeah, man, it got ridiculous, man. I started siding a little bit with Drake. I'm like, bro, Drake didn't move on. He moved on. Like and honestly, I feel like after this, I feel like he's in a better space after this beef than he was than the pusher beef. It seemed like he's just in a happier space now. Um, it was probably a little embarrassing too, to be honest, because you got this song that's playing everywhere. And look, I ain't gonna lie, like I wouldn't be too pleased if a song was #1 all over the place, calling me a pedophile. Like I wouldn't like that either, but I feel like he took it like a champ, man. He's still doing his thing. He seemed unbothered, so I'm fine with it, man.
Yeah. Viva Yor, what's up, Viva Yor? You say you're not over it. You're ready for more. And you kept saying you're not tired. You want more. Look, man, everything he ain't taking well. Look, he took it. He crying every day. Okay, man. I don't think Drake is crying himself to sleep.
I don't think so. I felt like he took the Pusha T thing bad because he just kept talking about that one. He was the one kept bringing that up, and yeah, I feel like Pusha T actually moved on perfectly fine from that one. He did what he had to do, and he ain't say nothing else after that. And Drake was the one that kept. Remember, he dropped the Scorpion album and all these different stuff. Just if I felt like he took that kind of bad, but this one he was just kind of fine with it. He leaned into the jokes, which I was kind of shocked at. Remember, he went bowling. He called himself 69 God.
Yeah.
He was on the awful Sexy Red song and rapped over the BBL Drizzy beat.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he kind of took it like a champ, man, which was surprising to me.
Look, you can't say it didn't bother him because it has to bother anybody. Like you said, being called a pedophile is really the worst thing you call somebody, especially.
I would probably be around trying to take a lawsuit, man. I'll be filing a lawsuit. I'll be trying to sue Kendrick for that shit, man.
Yeah. He would look ultra pathetic. That's probably the only reason he hasn't done it because you look pathetic in a rap beat trying to sue somebody. But that's the thing, man. I don't think of course, he's going to act like he's unaffected. Of course, it affected him. But at the same time, he's going to go to his $100 million plus mansion and go to bed with whoever he wants to. And he's going to live his life being super rich and be able to do whatever he wants with his days, make music or not make music, and still get love wherever he goes, to his face at least. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like when LeBron lost the championship in 2011 in the Heat to the Mavericks. And then people got mad at him for this. He said, look, at the end of the day, I'm still LeBron James. You got to go back to your fucking 9 to 5. He ain't say it like that, but that's what he meant. He said, at the end of the day, I go home. I'm me. You got to go home and clock in the next day. You happy that I lost? Now you got to go clock in to your 9 to 5 tomorrow.
Yeah.
And so, he's not bothered to that extent, man.
Yeah.
We are getting spammed. What is this a bot? Is this a Kendrick bot? Is this a Kendrick bot? Are we getting bot attacked by Kendrick stands, man?
Yeah.
It's not no issue. It's not no issue there. And as far as wanting more out of this beef, be careful what you wish for, man. I think we got the peak amount of entertainment we can get out of a rap beef with Kendrick and Drake.
I don't know if we'll see a beef like this in a long time, man.
No, I don't think we'll ever see it.
He said,
I don't know what's.
He said, I ain't no bot. What the hell? Hey, salute to you, man. We appreciate you stopping by, man.
Yeah.
I think he probably thought you was a bot because you was going back and forth with Cole. Cole
is spamming something else on his own. He said BBL gave my aunt gluteus maximus cancer. Oh, we got comic view up in here now, dog. Come on, where the Sandman at? Can we get the Sandman? Some of these jokes going on here, man. I don't know. We got to call out the Sandman. He got to sweep y'all off stage. But anyway, that's our update for Kendrick and Drake. Nothing else to report, really. I don't think I don't know what's going on in these comments, dog. I try to read everybody, but you spam a little too much, dog. I can't keep track.
I'm talking to y'all like I'm on the pod. Hey, we bring your comment up. You are on the pod.
You are a part of the pod, man. You are a part of the pod. Talk about the Yankees. Okay, next topic. See,
where are you from? You from New York?
Yeah, where are you from, man? We are a Houston-based podcast. Of course, we cover everything, but there is beef there, so we can't talk about the Yankees, of course.
Yeah.
Anyway, Figgy, did you buy the highly anticipated college football 25 game that came out that nobody talks about anymore? It was hyped for a week and whining about it for years, by the way. And now nobody talks about playing it anymore. But did you get this game?
I did, man. I did. Yeah. I didn't fall in the hype too much because some people bought the early access and all that. And I waited to the day of and paid $69.99 like a normal citizen. And yeah, man, I did. I ain't gonna lie, I haven't played it in like 2 or 3 weeks because I've been kind of tied up. But yeah, I bought it, man. I was in the hype, man. I was into it, man.
Do you like it?
I actually do like it, man. I kind of like it a little more than Madden for some reason. To me, it's a little more difficult because whenever you playing like the dynasty mode and all that stuff, it was a little tough for me. Like it was tough for Uncle Figgy to work it because the recruiting and all that stuff, they get deep into the sticks, man. So yeah, I did have fun playing it, man. I thought it was a good game, and I do still see people talk about it, but not as much as it was before where people was calling off of work for it. But I think it's a cool game. I think this game pretty much overshadowed Madden coming out this week. I think Madden came out this week or last week.
Soon it's not out already.
No, it's out already.
Oh, okay.
I feel like it overshadowed it because I usually get into that mode whenever Madden about to come out. I be like, oh, I ain't getting it. And then a week later, I'm like, ooh, let me pre-order it. I haven't even thought about it, man. And I don't even think I'm gonna buy it anytime soon. So I thought the game was solid, man. I thought it was pretty cool, man.
Yeah, it looks fun. I haven't played a football game in a long time, man. I haven't bought one, maybe not ever. I was never really into Madden. I was more into NBA Live and later NBA 2K. I don't even play that anymore. But I was never really a football game guy, man. I thought about buying it just because the FOMO was starting to fit in. Everybody was talking about all this cool shit. But now everybody complaining about the game. So I'm like, oh, here we go.
All that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm over it personally. Diva Yor, here's your Yankees update. They asked. Okay. That is your Yankees update from the Junji's podcast. We appreciate you.
Hey, I don't know. You probably not familiar with us, but we are Astros country, man. We man. I know you ain't gonna like us, man. Hopefully you don't leave the chat, but we MFers, man. We love the Astros here.
Yeah.
Champs, man. We all daddies.
Exactly. This is Astros country here, boy. You know, go ahead with that up north chalk.
Hey, yeah. Hey, Altuve is king down here, man.
Mm-hmm. For sure, man. Figgy, last but not least, man, I want your have you seen this MGK freestyle in Cleveland with Gilly and Wallow?
I did.
You saw it already?
I did.
Okay, I want to see a reaction to it. I didn't know you seen it. But fuck it, let's play it, man. Let's go ahead and play this because I want to get your thoughts on this whole scene, period. Now, MGK, of course, who Figgy is well acquainted with, he opened for him at one point in Cleveland. MGK has made the transition from rapper to rock star. He's done a lot of rock-oriented shows, and he's released a rock album. And for some reason, I don't know what caused it, he's been trying to spin the block back to rap.
Yeah,
like he's been releasing these freestyles, and now he got Gilly the Kid, or Gilly the King, I guess he calls himself now, Gilly and Wallow. And he's in the middle of Cleveland, around in Cleveland late last evening, with a bunch of black people. It kind of resembles the Eminem Trump video, I will say. It's not in black and white, but similar dynamics going on here. And do you know where in Cleveland this is at, Figgy?
Dog, I know exactly where this is. My hood.
Really?
It's actually my hood. I know exactly where this is. 131st and Leonard Crave.
Okay.
And what's crazy is, remember probably like last year or something like that, we was talking about MGK, and I played an old video of his. It was like a cheesy Soulja Boy sample video that bouncing on my toe. It was like an old early MGK video. He was right in front of this store. This is the same store he's in front of. I try to find it after I watch this, but I know exactly where this is. And I actually, if you look right here, I think this is my boy Mike Betts. This is somebody I actually used to rap with.
Okay.
So we was actually in a rap group together. This is the guy we opened up the show with MGK for. So
okay.
Yeah, so I recognize.
Why did he tap in with you, man?
Huh?
Why did he tap in with you?
I'm down in Houston, man. I have no idea, but yeah.
Out there a few weeks ago, man. We don't know when this was recorded. You could have tapped.
Yeah, but yeah, he been making the rounds, man. He been in Cleveland a lot. I seen him at a Guardians game, and yeah, man, he been around a lot, man, Cleveland.
Did you ban this guy who was spamming in our chat, or was he auto banned?
No, I banned him. Yeah,
I crazy.
Yeah, he started talking about some I'm freaky or something. I don't know what he was talking about.
Okay, that'll get you banned here, man. We family men. We family men. We getting paper. We ain't no motherfucking freaks.
We some family men. We getting it paper.
Yeah. All right. So let's play this video, man. Let's see what MGK is talking about.
Listen, man, $1 million worth of game. Yes. Welcome to Cleveland. And guess what? Listen, man, $1 million worth of game.
Yeah, but I think
welcome to Cleveland. And guess what? We up the way, man.
Yes, sir.
Baby.
This guy right here, this is my boy T-Rock.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, man, I recognize a couple of these guys. It's a lot of guys I don't recognize, to be clear. But yeah, this the hood. I used to always go to the store, man. It's the Dairy Mart.
Daisy Dukes is troubling me, man.
Right here.
Yeah, them jeans. Them cut off jeans are bothering me.
He in a wheelchair too. I don't know who
I
that
didn't
is.
notice that. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yes, sir. Come on, baby.
Where we at? Up the way. Up the way, baby.
Top, baby.
Cleveland. I say like this. Look, there's nothing to talk about, but I'ma talk my shit and burn this joint like I popped it out. Cleveland really shoot to kill. City's like a slaughterhouse. My big homie's in a wheelchair. He ain't walking out. I made 10 mil with someone and we ain't talking now. Fuck the money. I just want the loyalty we talked about. It's no other side. It is only us. I get cross-eyed watching y'all switch up. Bitch, white, heavy smoke, hopping out the rape. That's a Holy Ghost, ready go. Blood is in rotation, I got vertigo. What the fuck they talking about like all I do is rock and roll? All I do is rock these shows and break the street down, then I roll. Sometimes I nod off in this booth off these tens though. Nowadays I gotta thank the Lord that I ain't dead though. Junior year they swooped up half the block when the feds roll. Fucked up that some of them won't get out until the kids old. You are not a boss till you boss up and put your friends on. We still in the field with 4 quarters, no end zone. Speakers in my door, I pull up booming like I'm Metro. Sleepy, hollow culling, and I'm riding with the top dog. Sometimes I'm just freestyling these verses off their head though. Sometimes I don't want to fuck, I only want their head though. Sometimes they don't want to see you win unless it's them though. Where the fuck were they when I was shooting in the gym? Every day a movie, I wake up, I put a lens on. Feeling like New York in wintertime, I got my Timbs on. They can't look inside when I arrive, I got my tints on. Sold the stadium out in my city, got my prints on. Give me 50 feet, I need like 50 Jeeps and then some. Just to show them they can make it out of where we come from. I made an agreement because I disagreed with someone. I told the reaper wait until I leave the spot and then come. Up the way. Up the way, nigga.
I'm not gonna lie, the sleeves are tripping me out, man. I kept focusing on that. He has tattooed his arms to the point where it looks like he is covered in tar. You can't even see nothing on him anymore, man.
I don't know why he got that, man. I don't know why he got that because he had other tattoos. He pretty much got those tattoos covered up.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there, man. But I don't know. But anyway, what are your thoughts on his freestyle, man? Are you accepting hip hop NGK back into the fold, or do you think this is pandering?
It's good. Look, I ain't gonna front to you, man. I'm gonna be super biased on this. I like it for the simple fact he's in front of that same store that I used to be in front of, and just seeing all of my friends that I used to hang out in there too. So I'm gonna be biased. I ain't gonna critique the actual rap and all that stuff, but I always hear nothing but good things about MGK. Like I talked to a couple people and they say he always showed love and stuff like that. But yeah, man, I ain't gonna dive into the lyrics and be like, oh yeah, this good, that was mid. I know my man right here say it was mid. Look, man, I ain't gonna push back on that, nothing like that. But it was actually cool just seeing where he came from and how I first seen him. I'm gonna pull up this video real quick, but how I first seen him, and it was in front of this store. It was exactly in front of the store. I'm gonna see if I can find it. But yeah, man, it's actually wild, man. I don't know how you feel about it. I know you ain't gonna really rock with it like that, but
like I'm just confused by his identity, man. I would not feel this way if he just kept rapping.
Yeah,
the fact that he went completely into the rock and roll side, and now he's going completely back to hood, literally in the hood, rapping on the corner. These things just don't really mix with me, man. I'm like, who are you, MGK? What are you trying to do here? Because these are two completely different audiences he's trying to cater to.
It is. It's funny too because, like, people that don't know, he actually performed at the rodeo this year. And was it this year? No, it wasn't this year. It was last year. It felt like it was this year, but it was in 2023. He performed at the rodeo, and I went to the show, and he ain't performed not one rap song. And I was sitting next to some people at the station, and they were fans of him. And one of them didn't even know he like rap. They just kind of knew some of his more pop songs. And I'm just like, man, y'all don't even know this dude used to rap. He wasn't doing all that singing and rock stuff, man. So I don't know. Maybe he is going through a little identity crisis, trying to find himself, or because that's totally different from what that was, or even what this was. This is the video I showed you, where this is pretty much that same exact store. That's it. Only white boy.
The Soldier Boy era.
Yeah. See, that's the same store. That's the same. That's the same exact spot. So it's crazy how like he went from this.
No, he looks super out of place. Not only number one because he can't dance, he's tall as fuck, man. He's like taller than everybody else. He looks like Jokic.
It's funny because he was literally the only white guy that was in that hood, man, in that area. Because I talk about it all the time, how Cleveland is pretty much segregated. And that whole area is nothing but black people. If you see a white person around there, they're probably a teacher or a cop or some type of junkie that's trying to pick up something. But this is like the same area. I'm surprised they ain't showed the name of the street, but
too funny, man. That's the Soldier Boy era where everybody was trying to make a viral video on YouTube.
Yeah, look, see, this is the same street. That same sign. So yeah, it's wild, man. It's wild. So I ain't gonna criticize. I kind of got to a point where it's okay with being biased, man. It's okay.
Man, I understand. Look, you connecting with people that you know in your hood, so I get it.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, man. But nah, I'm kind of interested and see where he's trying to go with this. Just getting back to the rap scene.
I don't know, man. We'll see. Maybe he was doing it all for Megan Fox and they broke up and now he's going back to rap. I don't know. Who knows, man?
Yeah. Man, crazy.
Yep. All right, man. Anything else? It's been about 3 hours. So anything else we missed? Anything else we got to address on this edition of the podcast? I'm looking through Twitter, make sure we didn't miss any breaking news.
Yeah, I think that's it.
That might about do it, man. Anything else we can save till next week. But yeah, appreciate everybody who joined us, man. We back in full effect, like we said. Everybody who missed the podcast, we appreciate y'all reaching out to us during this hiatus. We're back at it now. Appreciate everybody who joined us, man. Appreciate Spoon. Appreciate TJ. Even this motherfucker who spammed our chat asking about the Yankees 25 times in a row. Diva Yor.
And by the way, he is from New York, so it kind of makes.
He said he's in Uganda right now. Uganda. So, yeah, shout out to Uganda. And Miguel was here as well. Shout out to Miguel. Everybody who joined us live and everybody who's listening to the podcast later on, we appreciate y'all for listening. Make sure if you get the Texans game on Saturday, you say what's up to Figgy Fig. He's gonna be out there doing his damn thing, of course.
I'll be at the Kroger entrance. I'm gonna be hanging out, chilling, give away some stuff. And yeah, man. And Monday, tune in Monday to In the Loop, man. We got a whole new show, man. New intro. I put a new intro together. So yeah, so it's gonna be a whole new vibe, new segments, a new guy. Can't say who it is right now. You have to wait till Monday. Or if you want to cheat, you could just search on Twitter. The news is out there.
It is secret.
Yeah, but real quick before we go, man. Rest in peace to Beat King, man.
Oh, I forgot to bring. I put that at the beginning of the rundown. I fucking missed it, man.
Yeah, we got. I just seen it scrolling on.
Shit, man. I'm just bringing it up at the beginning because that fucking took me out when I saw it yesterday.
Yeah,
man.
That really shocked me, man. I was actually doing some content stuff at the Atomic Wings, and I seen Donnie Houston tweet, and I'm like, "What is this real?" It was just all over the place, man. Rest in peace to Beat King, Club Godzilla, H-Town legend, man, producer, DJ. I couldn't believe it, man. It still don't seem real, man. I did not expect to see that at all.
Yeah, that tripped me out, man. I thought it was somebody else named B King at first. I was like, nah, not the B King we know. If y'all know B King was a producer, rapper, kind of famous for making songs of things, viral things that just happened. He would make a video or in a song about it. Very entertaining guy on social media as well. We actually had him on the ESG podcast as well. I want to say he's one of our first guests we had on the ESG and Rockett podcast. Funny guy, good guy. Yeah, Sally, he passed away at the age of, I want to say 39, man. So
39,
still
damn.
very young, still very young. Very unfortunate. I didn't believe it when I first saw it. So really sucks, man. Unfortunate to lose him so early. So yeah, RIP.
Yeah, man. So sad. Prayers to his family, friends, and Houston. This one hurt, man.
Yeah, it
I know,
sucks.
I know a lot of people say that whenever somebody passed away, but this one really hurt, man. This dude was still active.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I met him a couple times. He probably don't even remember me at all, but I met him a couple times, and always a cool dude, man. He never act weird towards nobody. I remember when the app Clubhouse was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I remember him being on Clubhouse, being in the rooms with him. And I remember him just bragging about Clubhouse, the app. He was just like, man, yeah, this is crazy. I was in the car listening to Clubhouse. This was back when we were all so amazed at what Clubhouse was. And I remember him just having a conversation about getting hot in Houston and how people say you got to go to Atlanta to get hot and all this other stuff, and just his success and how long he was in the game and how long it took to get where he is. And it was kind of inspiration. I know a lot of people didn't really, a lot of people felt certain type of way about the content and the music he was making. But I felt like that was him, man. That was an area he got to, and he just stuck in that lane. That's where he succeeded at, man. And when we got the news yesterday, I was on my way home, and I'm like, you know what? Let me listen to some Beat King stuff. And I'm just like, man, this shit is just thumping, man. This was like, this stuff used to go crazy in the club, man. And he just had an ear for that, man. Everything he produced, man, he just had an ear, and it was always a slap. So, man, it was so sad to hear that. It was so unexpected. And yeah, man, it was also a nasty narrative going around when blogs pick it up and say rapper was killed and all that stuff. He wasn't killed. He passed away. So yeah, rest in peace, man. This one really hurt, man.
Yeah, very surprising, very shocking, and it sucked, man. So RIP to the club Godzilla, and yeah, it sucks, but fuck it, man. We got to keep moving and keep doing our thing. But yeah, RIP, man. Now that really took me out that night when I saw it. So shit.
Yeah, but yeah, man. Like I was saying before, Monday, new show. Who this? We got a new guy. So just a little backstory on the guy. The guy is originally from Houston, so he's an H-Town guy, but he just did some radio. He was doing radio up in Dallas, so he'll be coming back home to a better city, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, and we start Monday, man. I'm gonna be more part of the show, so I'll probably be talking a little more. I got my own segment. They gave me my own segment, so I'm gonna be talking about some random stuff I want to talk about.
Yeah,
and that segment. Listen to the whole damn show first of all, but tune in at 1:20. So if you check it out 1:20, man, I'm gonna be doing my thing. And yeah, man, I'm super fired up about it, man.
Yeah, looking forward to it, man. Yeah, you big time now. You should introduce a show like David Ruffin did with the Temptations. He used to say, "I'm Figgy Fig, and this is In the Loop." You're the only ones whose name is there. Figgy Fig presents In the Loop.
Funny watching that movie, man, and seeing how pissed they were.
Yeah.
He came to the performance late as hell, first of all. They came back right in sync with the dance. And then I'm David Ruffin. These are the Temptations.
Pointed at them and everything. It's like, what the fuck? He ran out after the song was done. He was about to beat his ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Cue you up, cue you. But yeah, man, tune in Monday, man. I really think y'all gonna like the show, man. It's gonna be a good show. Can't wait to get started, man.
Yeah, man. Make sure y'all lock in. New season, new show, new everything, man. New beginnings. So everybody checking. I know I'm gonna check it out as well. So y'all tune in, lock in. Make sure you see Figgy Fig and the at the Texans game in the lot, in the Kroger lot, if you stop by. And yeah, like we said, appreciate everybody who showed love during the break. Everybody who came through for the show today. We really appreciate y'all. Anybody listening to the podcast, we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. And until next time,
peace.
Mm-hmm.